All right, and I believe we're live. All right, so we are going to be playing today a very familiar campaign. We are on what? The third chapter of this?
Yes.
So,
Chapter numero trace.
yeah, we're here with Cameron, who's commentator, and Davis, who is going to be our player today, who's playing
Yeah.
Priscilla. Would you guys like to give a little brief thing of what happened last time?
Um. Last time, so the ending of episode 1, I joined, or I was being initiated in the Falcon school, and so last session I was trained in the Falcon school. At the start of the second one, I got an animal handling proficiency. Didn't help at all. Still suck at animals. Um, right, and at the end of that one, I got a bird egg for my the title. Cameron's right. The title does still say chapter 2, not
Oh,
chapter 2.
I was trying to be discreet about it, but
Well, I said it anyway. There you go. Anyway, I got a bird egg for a bird that's gonna be my falcon buddy. Uh, my character now finally knows what a cat actually is. Um, and my character's been doing research on different races to try to figure out what she is.
and you had minty breath.
Yes,
What
I popped a Mentos and
you
I
would
had minty
think,
breath.
but actually, Mentos less mental breath.
Ooh.
Dude, does that mean if you ever use your ice powers and then you drink water afterwards, you're gonna have that weird like feeling in your throat?
The mint water. Oh
It's not.
man, I have to make a Constitution saving throw to keep my sanity for having to drink mint water.
mint water's good. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Whoa! Did you unironically just say that mint water is good?
It is.
I
Wow.
think we're gonna end it for this one, and we're gonna have to find a new GM.
Guys, we're gonna
next
have to take a
time.
little break here. I need to console Riley's
All
sanity.
right. Well, we will be right back after this break. All right, and we're back. Sorry about that little break, boys. We had just had to sort some stuff out.
Yeah, it was resolved rather quickly.
Yeah, it was. It was. Anyways, with that, I think we can begin. Did you tell them about the next storm that's happening?
Oh yeah. No, well, the storm didn't even happen in the end of the second one. Yeah, there was a big storm that happened, and now there's gonna be a bigger storm that's happening. So, yeah, I might do some not good stuff.
All right. So, with that, I believe we can begin. As we're heading down through the mountaintops and through the cliffs, we see the town of Rikun. As we go down through the town, we see that the thunder is roaring and the rain is pelting the ground in the town houses. We also see Priscilla inside with her cat. And your dad says goodnight to you and he goes back to his room. What do you wish to do?
Hmm. Uh, so do I have any? So I got my books that I've gotten from the library.
Yes, you do.
So I got those. I'm gonna make sure that the egg that I have is fine and warmed and being warmed up like it should be.
All right. Make an investigation check.
Probably should have had this app loaded up beforehand. 14.
14, got it. You check the egg, and it seems to be being warmed pretty well. And the cat notices the egg, and he kind of just looks at it curiously, and he hops back down. He seems to be very nervous, like he's prancing around for something.
Um, just like as a thing, does my character know how long this egg is supposed to take to hatch?
The Merlin told you it'll probably take a couple months.
So I don't need to worry about it randomly hatching. Okay.
No, no. He said he would let you know when he thought it would be around hatching season.
Okay, got it. Um, so what's the cat doing? Is he on my bed or is he just in the room?
He's in the room, kind of just prowling
Cat
around,
doing-
looking very nervous.
Well, I'll go over and give him a little pet and make sure he's not freaking out too much.
All right. So make an animal handling check.
Let's go, the first one of the stream.
Let's go, boys. Natural
Let's
20.
go.
Natural 20.
We got a 17? What?
Hey.
Hey.
You sort of try to calm the cat down by stroking it and putting it in your lap as you sit on the ground, and he kind of purrs up next to you and lays down, although you can see he's on high alert the entire time. Eventually it gets to nighttime, and you're getting tired.
All right. I'm gonna go to my bed, put the cat like on my lap, or maybe see if he wants to get in the covers, and maybe just read my book while I fall asleep, or read one of my books.
Okay. So, with that, as you slowly read your book, the light starts to fade, and with the sound of the rain and the storm, you fall asleep. And eventually, a thunder cracks, and you feel a pounce from your stomach as you jolt up. The cat seemed to gotten scared by one of the lightning bolts and jumped off of you.
Oh, unfortunate. Is he like freaking out, or?
Yeah, he's freaking out. He's like running around the room.
I don't want to try to like catch him because that wouldn't be smart.
All right. So do you stand up?
I'll probably just like sit on my bed, watch him run around, make sure he doesn't run into anything.
All right.
Kind of watch him.
He
Bounce
runs
down.
under your bed.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna get off my bed and try to like.
All right. Make a dexterity
Make-
saving throw.
Oh, okay. That's a 7.
Okay. With that, you feel lighter than usual, and you slip and fall onto the ground, where you can see the cat sort of scared under the bed.
I'm gonna kind of like lure it out like calmingly to tell him like, here, I got you. I'll comfort you and stuff.
The cat slowly approaches you and jumps up on the bed and looks at something up there. Do you wish to get up and look?
Yeah. What's he looking at?
As you get up, you see a person on your bed, exactly where you were laying down. It seems to be almost a little wispy, and they look like a normal human, but they have horns, and you slowly realize they look exactly like you, except their form every once in a while has a little wisp coming off of it.
Like what do you mean by wisp? Like just like
Almost like
air
a
just emanating?
Yes, almost like a shadow is trying to escape them. And you see they're unmoving and their eyes are closed. They seem to be sleeping.
That's kind of freaky. I want to like touch them, maybe wake them up, I guess.
As you try to touch them, your form goes through them, almost like you are a shadow yourself. You look completely fine, but the girl laying on the bed seems to be almost made of something different, almost like a gas.
That's kind of scary. So there's just a shadow me sleeping on my bed.
It looks like it.
So I face through it like the way my parents face through my cat.
Yes.
I'm gonna put the cat on the bed and see if. Where is he? Is he looking at them, or is he like? Can he interact with the thing?
He's just looking at it right now.
I'm gonna try to set the cat on top of Shadow Me.
All right. As you set him on top, he sort of stands on them, sort of shaky for a moment, and then gets off.
So he stand on. He didn't pass through her.
No, he did not.
Huh. This is really, really, really strange. Hmm. Cameron, what should I do about Shadow Me? I don't know what to do about
I
it.
have no idea.
I don't want. Should I just try to lay back down in the bed? Um.
Wait. Is this like some dream or astral form? What you could do is, since there's no like crazy things happening, you could do some little experiment. See if you can stay up and so it is you though, right?
It looks exactly like me, he says.
Okay. So maybe you're in like some astral form. You could do an experiment. Obviously you don't have to, you don't think your character would. Read your book all night and then see if you wake up fully rested.
Huh. Maybe. That's kind of smart. Yeah, that's really smart. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna like just read my book and see if that astral me wakes up and I become that thing or something like that.
Okay. So with that, do you wish to walk over to your book and try to grab it?
Where is the book? Is it just on my desk or something?
Well,
like
you
that?
dropped it after you fell asleep. It seems to be at the head of your, like under the head of your bed. You can walk over there and grab it if you want.
Yeah, I'll grab the book.
All right, make a dexterity saving throw.
Is the floor slippery? 11.
Okay. So, as you walk over there, you slip and slide a little bit, trying to catch yourself. Again, you seem almost like you're lighter than usual. And as you do, you try to catch yourself on the bedpost, and your hand goes next to it rather than on it, and you fall down a little bit, and your side of your face catches one of the bedposts and hits your face. You receive 1 bludgeoning damage, and instinctually you release a sort of scream after you hit it. And you look back over at your face and touch your cheek, and it seems there's blood coming out of it, like there was a small cut.
Ouchie. So, what was the thing to calculate how much health I have at level 0?
It was a D4 plus your Constitution. If it's a plus, if it's not a plus, then you don't add it. And then you re-roll ones.
Plus 0. So, re-roll ones. Okay, so I got a 4. So I have 4 max HP minus that 1 bludgeon damage. So currently I have 3.
Yes, that is correct. So you eventually hear someone approaching quite quickly. Like there's a thump, 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 thump. And your door swings up and then says, "Princess, are you all right?" And you realize it's your dad, looking similar to the body you see on your bed. And he looks over and runs over to you. Well, you that is in the bed, and
Shadow me.
looks over at your body and looks down at you, and eventually gets back up, kisses you on the forehead, and then starts to leave. And he notices something out of the corner of his eye. He looks down, and he sees that there's blood on the ground. He sort of touches it with his fingers and then rubs it in his hands. He looks confused for a moment and looks down at your body. You can now see that the cut is on her body as well. And he goes into the kitchen and goes back and puts a cotton ball on your cheek, your body's cheek, and wipes away some of the blood. He eventually leaves and closes the door.
Did the blood go away on like me controlling me's body as well?
Yes, if it's on your body, it goes away. If it's on the ground, then no.
Okay, so if anything happens to either bodies, the other one experiences this as well.
Yes, it seems like it.
Got it.
As the door opens, the cat looks over at you. While it's still open, the cat looks over at you and starts walking towards the kitchen. And then once he's in the kitchen, he sits down and looks at you again.
For simplicity's sake, we need a different. So we call when you say you mean the me that's controlling me, and what are you gonna say when you're talking about the me that's laying in bed?
I don't know. Do you guys have a good idea?
Cameron, you got any simple ways to make it to? I mean, shadow me works. Or shadow you.
You could just whichever one you're controlling could be you, and then whichever one you're not controlling could just be other you.
Okay, yeah, that's
So,
fine.
yeah.
Kind of
Other
like
you or
Coraline
shadow
rules.
you, whichever
Because
one.
what I'm thinking is, I don't know. I think you are the shadow version. I don't think the other people are.
So yeah, just other you, I guess, would work fine.
Okay, yeah, whatever you're not controlling, I'll say is other you. Okay?
Got it. Okay, so Kitty Cat's in the kitchen, just sitting in the kitchen.
Yes, and he's looking at you.
You. Um, I'm gonna follow Kitty Cat.
And as you do, your father kisses the other you goodnight and closes the door behind you. You can see him sighing, and as he looks around, he goes through a couple of the cupboards and brings out a bottle. It's not a bottle you've ever seen before. It seems to be in one of the back counters, and he pours himself a drink and slowly drinking it by himself.
Got some alcohol. Okay. So I'm in the kitchen now, right?
Yes, you are. You were with the cat. The cat slowly walks over to the front door and paws at it.
Oh, he wants to go outside. Well, Pop Pops is gonna see the door open. I want to see if I can walk through the door.
All right. So you just like place your hand on it and see if you can go through.
Sure, yeah.
It feels real to you. You cannot pass through.
I cannot pass through. Okay. Maybe I'll wait for Dad to finish his drink and go back into his room before I open this door in front of him, because I don't want him to I don't want him to see this door randomly open and close.
Can you fit through the window in your room?
Oh, the door is
Well-
closed now, as your father left.
Well,
Yeah, so he would also just see that door open and close. So either way, I want to wait for him to go back into his room.
All right. So as you are waiting for him to sort of leave, you can see him start to drink another glass and then another. He pulls out something from his pocket. It seems like it's nothing that you've ever seen before, and it seems to be some sort of parchment paper. He looks at it for a moment and puts his head down, and you can see he's starting to cry.
Oh no, are those divorce papers? So like he's like face down crying.
Yes, the parchment paper is on the table.
I mean, I am curious on if those are divorce papers, but I might take this opportunity to just leave while he's not looking. Is the cat still pawing at the door, right?
Yes, he is.
Ooh. Okay, I want to like quickly go to the thing, get a paper, get quick glimpse, and then open the door and leave with the kitty cat.
All right. So,
The paper is.
you quickly look at the paper, and it seems to be some sort of art piece made out of different colored oils and also ink. It seems to be a picture, or not a picture, a drawing of a very realistic looking, earlier, younger version of your father and what seems to be like your mother smiling with each other. And in your mother's hands it looks to be a baby with horns.
Oh, okay. All right. So now I'll try to leave without him noticing.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah.
What, to like open the door?
Open the door
Quietly?
quietly.
Okay, sleight of hand. What is that? That's dexterity.
Yes.
I got 13.
All right. You slowly open the door, and the cat runs out. You slowly close the door behind him, and you realize that your dad seems to be passed out. And you close the door behind you. You are now in the rain and the storm, and you can feel the rain hitting you. And you see the cat looking at you, and quickly runs what seems to be like it's south.
I'm gonna follow kitty cat.
All right. So make an acrobatics check.
Is he really fast?
Yes, this is to see if you can catch up.
I'm guessing that's Dex, right?
Yeah.
I got a 10.
Okay. You seem to be keeping a little bit of a pace with him, but he seems slightly faster, and he runs
Oh,
down.
that was a real lightning strike outside my house.
Wait, really?
Yeah, there was real thunder outside my house. This is so immersive.
That's great. He seems to be slightly faster than you as he darts through alleyways. You try to keep up the best you can, and eventually he leads you towards the gate where it is down, and you can see a couple guards talking to each other with hats on to cover themselves from the rain. The cat runs out the gate and starts heading towards the east side of the walls.
I'm pretty confident that just they can't see me, so I'm gonna keep following Kitty Cat.
All right. So you try to follow him. Make an acrobatics check.
Okay, 15.
All right. You seem to be catching up a little bit, and he runs up the east side of the wall and eventually gets back to the back area, somewhere you've never been before, even training the Falcons. And he runs off into the forest, seeming to be very wet at this point. You are also soaking wet. And he's running towards what seems to be off in the distance, the mountainside. So there's the wall, there's the forest for a long time, and then there's the mountainside.
Huh. And he just darted into the forest?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Would I be able to keep up with him in that forest?
I'm going to make you see if you can find him first, then I'll roll for acrobatics.
Oh, so I've already lost him.
Well, he just now jumped into the forest. He jumped in some sort of bush. So I'll make you roll to see if you can find him.
So do I roll what, investigation or something like that?
For that, I believe it's investigation, yes. Well, are you just looking for him in general? Looking for the cat?
Well, while trying to follow him in there, so I can...
All right, make a
yeah.
perception check instead. Sorry.
Okay. Nat 20.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
You can see the cat darting through some trees. Make an acrobatics check.
Okay, now we're gonna get shit on this one. What did I tell you? I got a 4.
Okay, you try your best to keep up with him, but you're quickly losing stamina, and he is way too fast for you. You can see him darting through the trees and through the forest. You can see he seems to be walking towards what seems to be the mountainside, where it starts going up a little bit, and there's less and less trees. Do you wish to keep following?
I'll keep following Kitty Cat, yeah.
All right, make a Constitution saving throw.
I get that 20 again.
Okay, you, even though you've been running for a long time at this point, your determination overpowers your weakness and your stamina. You keep on running. So eventually you get up and up and up through the different forests, and eventually the trees start going down. And you realize you've gone up quite a bit. As you look back down, you can see you are taller than the walls at this point, as you look off into the distance.
That's pretty cool. So I'm on just like a hill?
You seem to be going up the mountainside.
Okay.
It's just slowly
Is there
ramping
any-
up.
Other than Raccoon, is there any discernible anything around me other than just land and trees?
Make a perception check.
Well, I don't really know why I'm checking what the ad is. Perception is what? Wisdom. Okay,
Yeah.
That's an 18.
All right. As you look around, what you can see is a small black almost dot going up the side of the mountain, and he seems to be heading towards something very specific, but you can't see what. You
Well,
assume
then
it's your
that's
cat.
Kitty Cat. Yeah, that's Kitty Cat.
All right. Do you wish to follow?
Oh, well. Yeah, I gotta keep following Kitty Cat.
All right. So with that, I'm gonna have you make a acrobatics check once more. This is to see if you can scale the sort of harder surfaces.
You see, there might be an issue with that because I got a 1, an
Oh,
unnatural 1.
Okay. Wow.
Oh.
So, as you try to scale the mountain's sides, you seem to grab a loose piece of rock, and it crumbles on your fingertips. and you fall back down and roll a little bit. You receive 1 bludgeoning damage, and you seem to have scraped your elbow a little bit.
Ouchie.
Your elbow's bleeding just a little bit, but not very much. You look up the mountainside, and you see something you didn't before. It seems to be a rock side that seems to come out a little bit, and it seems to be a ledge. The mountaintops are way too high for you to scale, but this place seems reachable.
I should try and reach it.
All right, so do you wish to try to climb up and get in there?
I'll try to get in there, yeah.
Okay, do you wish to go around the side and just try to run up, or do you wish to try to just climb up where you're at right now?
So, how steep are we talking this mountainside is?
Okay, if you run around, you can basically, it's like basically hard terrain, but if you try to scale it, it's just basically going slightly at an angle upward. I mean, if you're taking 90 degrees, it's slightly down. So yeah.
So I gotta climb some rocks to get up there. I could run like around it
Yeah.
to get up there. Well, since I just tried to climb it and failed miserably, I think I should try to run around it this time to get up
Alright.
there.
So you eventually run around it, and it takes you quite a bit longer. It takes you about, I'd say, 10 minutes to get there fully, and eventually you are standing on the little lip of the cliff, and you look out before you see the storm clouds rumbling above you, and it seems to have almost spread to the town fully. And through the clouds, you can see the town, lights all ablaze, and it seems like no one's outside right now. You look back, and it seems to be some sort of cave system.
Can I see where Kitty Cat is?
Make a perception check.
In 17.
All right. So with that, eventually you go forward into the cave just a slightly bit to see if you can see anything to the cave, and you see what appears to be a light a couple yards downward into the cave.
Like what color light? Like torchlight or?
It seems to be like torchlight.
I'm gonna investigate.
All right. So as you continue down forward, it gets pretty dark for a moment until you see what seems to be a torch on the cave wall, sort of propped up.
Is there anything around me, or is it just a lone torch?
It seems to be a lone torch.
Does the cave go deeper?
You can see the cave does go deeper.
Well, I'm gonna grab the torch off the wall, so I have some light for him.
All right.
Just light source, and then continue walking.
You grab the torch and put it into your hand, and as you do, the cat approaches from the darkness and sits down.
Kitty cat. So he came from the deeper in the cave.
Yes, he did.
Oh. I'm gonna go down to him, pet him, and ask him, "Did you find anything, buddy?"
He sort of nudges at your what seems to be pocket.
Nudges into my pocket.
Yeah.
Do I have everything that other me has in their pockets in my pockets right now?
You seem to, yes.
Oh. Well, I'm not too sure what I would have that he would want right now.
In your pocket just seems to be some change and also the cat's bow tie.
Oh, the bow tie. Oh, I want to put the bow tie on him.
All right, you do put the bow tie on him, and he seems to enjoy it.
Dapper little fella.
As he looks over at you, he starts walking deeper into the cave.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna follow him.
He wanted to be dressed up for this occasion.
All right.
He wanted to be a dapper little boy.
So, as you walk deeper into the cave, you can see it starts splitting into almost different paths. The cat leads you down certain ones, and eventually, you're getting to more of an open area. Do you wish to do anything, or just keep walking?
So like we're in a more open area now.
Yeah.
Am I like I'm still like behind the cat, right?
Yes, you are. He seems to be leading you down the path.
Well, I mean, I'll keep following, but I want to like look around this open area, see if there's anything here.
All right. So with that, make a perception check.
Mm, 9.
All right. So you look around, and the only thing you can really see is maybe chips on the wall, like someone engraved something in it.
Huh. No, I don't want to. I don't want to stray too far from Kitty Cat, so I'm gonna keep following him.
Okay. Eventually, you get to the point where the cat stops, seemingly in the middle of the room, and he sits down and starts licking his paw.
Okay.
You are now in the middle of a large room. You can't see like out very much since the torch is not as bright as it was when you first grabbed it.
Okay, so the room is bigger than my light range.
Yes, it is.
So I guess I'll do like I'll go to one of the walls of the room and like do like a walk around until I
Okay.
find something.
So, as you start walking around, you use the torchlight to sort of see the inside of the cave, and eventually you seem to find what seems to be like a carving. It seems to be two lines, and on the inside of it seems to be a carving of a person. It seems to be an archaic drawing, almost like it was made a long time ago, with a different kind of art style. And you can see the person start walking towards the left side of the wall. Like, it's
So
like frame by frame.
These drawings on the wall are moving.
No, it seems to be like a frame by frame drawing.
Okay, so I keep moving to the next picture so I can get the story that's happening.
All right. So as you see, the person starts finding some more people, and eventually they start building things. As you look around, you can see many people start building what seems to be like a town. And eventually, you can see the people are very happy, and they are all living inside the town. As you continue forward throughout the story and the timeline, you see that there seems to be something up above the town, which is a cave system, and within it seem to be drawings of evil creatures, carvings of evil creatures. They eventually go towards the town as you keep going to the left, seeing how the town progresses, and at this point it seems to be very far along in its progression, and the monsters attack the town, and eventually you see what seems to be a carving of a cat that looks very similar to the one that you have, and eventually someone approaches the cat and points towards the monsters attacking the town, and the cat goes towards the town. You can see the carvings at this point are chipped off the wall. Whatever was there is now gone.
Oh, okay.
And eventually,
This
do you want to
is-
continue down?
Yeah, I guess I'll continue to see if there's anything left on the wall.
So as you do, eventually you get to the point where the chippings are left off, and you can see people are praising the cat. The cat seems to be sitting on a throne, and there
They're
seems
Egyptians.
to be the cat seems to be in another drawing after a couple more chippings, and it seems to be a younger person kneeling towards the cat and praising him also. You can see, again, it starts trailing off a little bit, but you see the cat leading the person towards something. And eventually, the carvings trail off into the point where you can't see anything more. The story has ended.
Seeing a lot of similarities here between my situation and that story. So, has my father told me about that whole thing with the other town thing,
Like, what do you mean?
the orcs?
Oh, no. You don't know about that.
Okay, so I'm not gonna metagame it.
Well, I mean, you
So-
do know that the town is protecting itself and Stowman from another town called Timon. That's it.
Okay. So, recap the story. People build a town. Monsters invade the town. Kitty Cat shows up. A bit of a time skip of the story happens. I don't get what happens in the middle.
Yeah.
But then people are praising Kitty Cat. And is that the end of it? Is that what happened?
There's a bit more of a time skip, and then the cat leads a young person to somewhere.
Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna go back into the middle room, see if Kitty Cat's still there.
You walk back to the middle of the room, and the cat seems to be gone.
Shit. Did that story like encompass the entire circle of this room?
No, it did not.
I want to see the rest of the room.
Okay, so make a perception check.
Let's go. Perception. 18.
All right. So with that, you eventually look around the room, and you see that there are no more carvings. It seems to be just a blank wall. But you eventually see what seems to be like a small door. You have to get on your hands and knees to go into it, but it seems to be walkable, or crawlable in this case.
Is this Kitty Cat's house? I'm gonna try to open the door.
It's not a door. It's more like a hole in the wall.
Oh, well, I'll just walk through the hole.
Okay, you wish to crawl through the hole?
Oh, yeah, crawl, yeah.
Okay, so you crawl through the hole trying to hold the torch as best you can, and eventually you get to the point where it seems to be a dead end. And over in the distance, you can see at the end, there seems to be a small little, what seems to be like a chest.
Is the chest? I'm gonna look in the chest.
All right, as you open it, it seems to be covered with purple and black wood. And as you open it, on the inside, you can see it seems to be a key on a chain.
Is that all that's in the box?
Yes.
I'm gonna grab the key.
All right, and as you do, you wake up, and it seems to be like the storm is over. Give me a minute.
Is the key in my hands?
Give me a minute. All right. You guys can talk about what just happened if you would like while I get this ready.
Uh,
Do you think
That
that
was
was a
great.
dream, or do you think that was real?
Well, we're about to figure out if it's real if I have that key still.
Mm-hmm.
But
if
I
you don't,
feel like it was real because, like, my character felt all that stuff.
right? But here's the thing: if you don't have the key, are you gonna try to find that cave?
Maybe actually. But either way, that story. So that my little cat saved our village. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or like the cat's like family, and this one is like a distant child or something like that.
All right, so sorry about that. I just need to change the music. So as we continue, you wake up and your father seems to be nudging you and says, "All right, I think it's time to wake up. I think the Falconers are waiting for you."
Oh, thank you, Dad. I'll be out real quick.
All right, and he leaves your room.
All right. Do I got that key still?
You look down at your hand and you seem to still have the key. It is wrapped around a chain.
Should I add that to my inventory, by the way? 'Cause I
Yes, you
got this
can.
key.
Just put mysterious key.
Okay.
Is he fully rested, or did that? take
Yes,
up
he is
his-
fully rested.
So I have that. I have my HP back.
Yeah, you have full HP.
Okay. So I got my HP back. I got a key. That means that was real. That wasn't a dream.
And the cat is no longer in your room.
Kitty Cat's gone. Okay. Let's hope no one finds any floating bow ties. 'Cause that-
Also, you do realize in your pocket the bow tie is gone.
So there could be some floating bow tie action. Okay. So the Falconers are ready. Should I bring my egg with me?
you know that they prefer you to keep the egg inside as long as it's not hatched yet.
So, and since he said months, there's no way. So I'll just check on it, make sure it's still properly being warmed up and stuff.
Yep.
And yeah.
As you check on it, you realize that it's completely fine. It seems to be unmoved.
Great. So then I will get ready.
All right. So you get ready for the day. You splash some water in your face to wake up, and you eventually head down to the Falconers. Over there, you can see no one is outside. You eventually walk into Hudok's tent, and you can see they are gathered around each other. And Sarah has her arm around Christian.
Or is anyone talking, or?
No, they all just seem to be sitting there.
So I'm gonna walk in the tent. Maybe find a place to sit down with everyone.
All right. Eventually, you walk in, and Hudok notices you and says, "Oh, Priscilla, please have a seat."
I was planning. I don't say this, but I was planning to do that anyway when I sit down.
All right. He looks over at you and says, "Well, we have some bad news. Last night, the storm, it caught up Christian's falcon. We found it this morning. It was dead." Christian seems to have a very somber look on his face.
I just say, "Oh, Christian, I'm so sorry that happened."
He looks over at you and says, "It wasn't your fault. I thought I could do some more reconnaissance last night, and apparently it got too much, and, well, my little guy just didn't come back."
I'm really sorry that happened.
Sarah looks over at you and says, "Yeah, we're just gonna take some time off just to, well, wait till we have a fifth member." And she looks over at you.
Wait, what'd she just say again?
She said she's gonna wait. We're gonna wait for a fifth member until they start up again with the Falconers.
Wait, so all those people from before and me, are those all the people that are
Yep,
in the
that's
Falcon
it.
News? I thought there was way more.
No, just you guys. Well, obviously, and Hudok, but he doesn't really count. He's more of a trainer.
Okay. Says, well, I'm gonna have to wait patiently then.
So Christian looks over at all you guys and says, "It's been really fun, and thank you guys for helping me out. It's just, I'm gonna find another job. If I get another Falcon, I don't want to put it on the line like that again. I just don't think I can go through that again." And he looks down and starts heading out the tent. And Sarah looks over at him and before he leaves and says, "If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to ask. Just remember, we're all still here." And he waves goodbye to everyone and heads out the tent.
Well, okay. I don't have anything to say.
All right. So Hudok looks over at all of you and says, "Well, I guess welcome, Priscilla, to the full Falconers team." And he looks over at you and says, "We were going to wait till you got your Falcon, but seeming to see that we only have 4 members, we need another. Are you ready to step up?"
Yeah, but I'm still gonna have to wait for my Falcon to hatch, right?
Yes. The Falconers are going to take a break. I'm going to take over for a while with mine. And he sort of looks back for a moment, and you can see what seems to be like another hatchling that you've never seen before. He pats it for a moment and says, "I will be taking over for a little while. One of you will have to give me your Falcons, and I'll go out and searching." And Sarah looks over at him instantly and says, "You can have mine. I wouldn't want to keep him cooped up in my house that long. Plus, my parents really wouldn't want that." So Hudok looks over at her and says, "Thank you, Sarah." And he pats the little bird on the head, and it chirps at him, and he feeds it a worm. He says, "I've finally found my own Falcon. And just in case this ever happens again, which it shouldn't, we just have an extra backup so we don't have to be put on hiatus. Please, until Priscilla's egg hatches, you are all free to go. Don't worry, I will be paying you in full, just as if you were working.
Okay.
He says you're dismissed.
Gonna walk out of the tent with everybody.
All right. So eventually, you guys walk out, and Nicholas immediately leaves. And you see Sarah, Stella, and Guyal all standing around, and they all look at you and say, "Well, welcome to the team."
There's not the kind of welcome I was hoping for, but it's still good to be a part of it regardless.
Make a persuasion check or a deception check, of course.
Well,
You really wanted his bird to die so you could be here.
no.
Did you kill his bird?
No, I didn't kill his bird. Well, I mean, I'm not deceiving them by saying I am glad to be part of the team.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's not that great. But hey, my only +1 stat comes into play, and I got a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
They all look at you and sort of give you a half-hearted smile. Guyal looks over at you and says, "Well, thanks for training with us. We knew that you'd make it one day." And Stella looks over and says, "Yeah, you were always the most promising student that we've ever had." And she looks over again and says, "Well, how about we do this? I wouldn't want to keep you guys off the hook for slacking off and all." And she gives you guys a wink, and everyone sort of gives her a laugh. She says, "How about we just meet up every week? We can have the Falcons see each other again, and we can talk about what we've done that week."
It's like a little mini get together every week or so.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everyone's invited, but I doubt Nicholas will come.
Yeah. Unfortunate. Well, I'm down to join up every week and do this. Get together.
Guyal looks around and says, "Yeah, I think that's a great idea." And he says, "How about we meet up every Monday?"
Sounds good.
All right, everyone agrees. And eventually they say, "Make sure you don't miss the meetings. It'll be over at the library, because we know Sarah works there." And they say, "Meet around midday and meet at the library so we can all have a chat. And make sure you bring your Falcons."
They're like, what day is it today?
It seems to be Friday.
Okay.
I have a real quick question.
Yeah.
This might not be the best time to bring it up considering why you got the job, but is he going to start getting paid or is he still considered an intern?
Oh, no, he's getting paid. He's fully a part of the team.
Oh yeah, I'm getting paid. So you said 2 gold a day?
Yep. Just make sure you add that into your inventory every single day, unless I tell you otherwise.
Okay. So does this day count? Probably not, right?
Starting tomorrow. Sorry.
Got it. Okay. So starting tomorrow, every day I gotta remember. I'm gonna write down on here every day add 2 to gold.
Okay.
So I don't forget that.
Got it. Sounds good. So if you ever have any questions about how much time passes, because you got to keep track of that, just ask me. So eventually everyone scatters off over to the village. What do you wish to do?
What time is it?
Actually, I should ask this. What do you wish to do till your egg hatches?
Oh. Yeah. Well, I go to all these meetings with the friends every time there is one.
Got it.
Need to make sure I find Kitty Cat and get his bow tie. So there's no floating bow ties.
All right.
Are you going to do anything about the cave or the astral plane?
Well, okay, has there been any, and I mean, this might be like weird to like ask, have this happened and then maybe change what I do before in the time, but before the egg hatches, have I had another moment where when I fall asleep I can move and my body is still asleep?
Yeah, of course I'll tell you.
Like, not yet though, or
What do you mean?
I should probably because
Like,
I
I'll
want.
stop you and then I'll say it happens.
Okay, so like I said, I go to all these meetings every time they happen. I try my damnedest
Wait.
not to miss one and to be on
Okay,
time.
so give me the number one thing you're putting into, and tell me like how much you're putting into it.
Uh,
Like a little effort, a lot of effort, just medium.
I'm putting a decent amount of effort into being on time for all these meetings with my Falconeer buddies.
All right. So, eventually, eventually over all this time, you have multiple meetings. I'm gonna make you make a persuasion check.
Okie dokie. 19.
All right.
Nice.
So, with that, you miss you. I was about to say miss every meeting. You don't miss
Okay.
every meeting. You're there on time pretty much every time, and you get to know the Falconeers a little bit better. Of course, Nicholas never shows up, but you get to learn a lot more about what they are. So, Sarah was the first Falconeer of the group. She seems to be the oldest, and she tells everyone that when she originally joined, her parents were kind of making her because they were a part of the guards, and Hudok didn't really have any trainees at that point. He had his own falcon, and he was doing all the work by himself. But her parents convinced her that Hudok needed an assistant. So eventually she got her own falcon after extensive training, and that's when Guyal showed up with Christian. They seem to be quite close friends, and known
They're
each
the
other
second
since.
and third.
Yeah, they Nicholas and Christian and Guyal were the second ones to come, and they were like best friends since birth, and they knew Sarah from childhood, and since they knew about her job, they asked if they could be a part of it, and that's where Hudok was convinced that they should create what was called the Falconeers. And eventually, they made their own subsect of the guards, which were called the Falconeers. And they are all trained professionally. And then that's where Nicholas joined. Nicholas was not from the village or the town. He seemed to be an outsider. And his parents didn't really talk to many people. He eventually one day just showed up out of the blue and asked to be one of the Falconeers. He already had a falcon of his own. He said he raised it from childhood, and he said he used to be a watchman over at his old town, which he didn't seem to talk about very much. Hudok did some training and eventually realized after just a couple days he was pretty much set to go. So he gave him his own badge and said he was a part of it. And then finally, that's where Stella came in. Just about a year prior. She was new to the group and eventually tried to get to know everyone. And she seems to be very good friends with Guyal and Sarah, and tried to get to know Nicholas a little bit. She tried to get him to open up about his past and everything, but Nicholas shut her off and kept to himself. So Sarah, Stella, Guyal, and Christian all became better friends for it. After a couple meetings, you realize that you were getting very close with them. Do you wish to share anything with them, or do you wish to keep anything secret?
We're not gonna mention Shadowcat, and we're not gonna mention my whole astral plane moment.
Okay.
Should I tell them about my my Mentos breath moment?
Well, what would you say? One time I breathed and it tasted like a mint.
Well, I'd probably like, I'm not committing to saying this, but like, my character would go like, "Hey Stella, remember that one time I went to the library and was looking for books about the different races of the world? Well, I've been doing a lot of research on that, and I found this one race of, do I know the term dragon? Yes.
No, you don't know dragon at all.
Of humanoid, I'm just gonna say like elemental beings that shared a decent amount of similarities with me, and like they're able to breathe out a certain element, like such as lightning or fire. And I tried to do it once, and I didn't make anything, but my breath started to get really cold. That's what I think that's what my character would say.
Are you
if I
gonna
tell
say
them.
it to the group, or would you just say it to Sarah since she was the one at the library?
Good question. I think I will say it to at least someone.
Okay, so do you wish to say it in one of your group meetings, or make sure that you don't say it to everyone?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because Sarah has been my trainer, so I'm assuming she's like, of all these people, my best friend.
Yeah, basically.
So do I say it to only Sarah or to everyone?
Well, I will tell you this. How your character feels is Sarah is your best friend. You've confided in her a little bit throughout the years, especially when it got lonely. But after a couple months of seeing everyone every week, you basically consider everyone in the group a very good friend to you.
I think I'll tell everyone.
Okay, that's up to you.
Yeah, I think, yeah, other than just like you also just think to tell them maybe like just general stuff about growing up, and then I'll tell them kind of exactly how I said I would say it, and I say that.
Okay, so with that, they all sort of look confused at you, and Stella pipes up for a moment and says, "When you first joined us, we were always wondering what the horns were." And Guyal pipes up and says, "But we didn't want to make you feel outcasted at all. We actually thought it was pretty cool when you first joined."
Oh, oh, thanks for being so considerate, guys.
Sarah looks over at you and says, "Listen, if you really want to find more stuff about yourself or where you came from, we might be able to help."
Really?
I mean, yeah, of course. We'd do anything for you, right, guys? And they kind of nods at you. And Guyal pipes up and says, "Listen, I've known Christian my whole life. I think we should get him into the group." He tells you that Christian's parents are researchers, and that's what he's studying to be. He's been in school more than anyone, and if anyone's going to be able to help, it'd be him. He tells you that even though I'm pretty sure you've seen doctors before, Christian's a little different. He studies in experimental science.
Oh, would anything like hurt, or would I be fine?
Oh, no, of course not. I mean, Christian knows you, and he would let you know before he did anything. He's a nice guy.
Well, I don't see much of an issue.
All right, so everyone asks if everyone says they're going to take a vote if they allow Christian into the group. And it's going to be anonymous. So what are you wishing to vote on your paper?
I vote that he should join our
All right.
little group get together.
So as Stella takes all the votes, she reads them all off and says it's unanimous. Christian's going to join the group.
Woo!
All right. So the next week, you are waiting in anticipation, and Christian joins. He seems to be bringing some of his science supplies with him, and he looks over at you and says, "Well, Guyal told me that you guys needed some help. He didn't tell me much. He said that Priscilla would explain."
Basically, the gist of it, I am pretty sure some part of me is not human, but I don't know what it is, and I would like you to help me figure out what it is.
He looks over at you for a moment and says, "Well, I mean, I've always thought about that. I was never really close to you, so I didn't really want to ask, but of course, I'd love to help."
Thank you very much.
Eventually, Nicholas sits you down in front of everyone and asks you some questions like you've been asked before.
Nicholas sits down?
Sorry, Christian. Sorry, Christian.
Okay.
Christian sits you
Christian.
down and asks you some questions that you've been asked before by doctors. Do you wish to answer them?
Yeah, basic questions, yeah.
Okay. He sort of writes them all down, and as he does, you realize he has spectacles that he normally doesn't wear. He writes them all down and says, seems to be accelerated growth, horns, some fur. You definitely don't seem to be completely human. So, tell me something about your parents. What did they do before you're born?
does my character know what they did?
Your dad's always been a guard ever since he was a little kid, and your mom was usually stay at home until she got her jobs at the florist in the Grove.
I tell him that.
Okay. Parents seem to be ordinary. This is very confusing. Usually there's something that leads to something like this happening. I mean, think about it. You have half-orcs, even tieflings, people making pacts with demons and having demon children, or even loving an orc and having children with them. But your parents, from what you say, both seem to be human.
I hope one of them didn't make a pact with an all-knowing demon lord.
Yes, well, that would be quite surprising.
Quite the tale.
Yeah, I mean, considering your tale.
Yeah, pun not intentional.
He sort of gives you a laugh, and everyone else in the group does too. And Stella sort of punches you in the shoulder friendlily. Sorry, I don't think I just made up that word. But eventually, Christian, after a couple weeks, asks you if he's allowed to take a blood sample.
Like with like a syringe or something like that.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right. I'm not going to make you roll for it because, I mean, everyone does that at some point. So he takes some blood out of you and covers it up with some cotton and eventually injects it into a vial. He pulls up 2 different vials. He pulls up one and says, "This is Priscilla's blood." And he pulls up another vial and says, "This is Sarah's blood. I asked her for it this morning." And Sarah sort of scratches the back of her neck. And he says, "I'm going to analyze both of these to the best of my ability and see if there's any differences." Because Sarah, obviously, is human.
Obviously.
So eventually, the next week passes, and he comes back with 2 different sheets. He sort of puts them both on one of the counters, and he says, "All right, well, I did my research, and even my parents helped out a little bit." And he says, "The blood seems to be almost identical from what we can tell." He tells you that his parents have a specialty item that they bought from a long time ago merchant. It seems to be an old piece of equipment, but it's pretty reliable. He says it's called a microscope. And with that, he explains to you the only difference that he could find is in your white blood cells, which he explains to be a part of your body. It's like little tiny things that are inside you. He says there is double the amount of white blood cells in your system. He tells you that with that might explain some accelerated growth if there are extra organisms in your body that are keeping you like the growing organisms that are making you grow faster. He says this might be the explanation for that. So, I mean, technically, I guess a part of you isn't human.
So, wait, just more of these white blood cells makes me not human?
No. It's just a theory, but all white blood cells do are, well, we don't really know at this point, but we just know they keep you healthy for some reason. He tells you that if there are more things like this, like the things that make you grow, and there's double of them, that might explain it.
Okay, that makes sense.
We assume that there are tiny organisms that make each body function. Like there are organisms for the brain, and like I said, organisms that keep you healthy, and organisms for different body functions. And they kind of just make it happen.
I see.
Everyone sort of looks around confused for a moment, and Stella asks, "So, is there an organism that makes my finger move?" And he says, "That's the theory, yeah."
I mean, at a game, not entirely inaccurate. Back in game. So all of that happened. Does he say or do anything else?
He basically just tells you that technically you're not completely human, although most of your main body stuff is that of a human.
All right. Once again, thank you for all the effort you're putting in.
He looks down once more and says, well, there's one more thing. I was talking to my parents about our predicament, and they used to travel a lot before they had me and settled down here. They knew about that little auction that the book told you about. Apparently, it's not all fiction. And he puts down another third piece of paper, and there's a sketch of what seems to be a winged creature. He says, my parents found this in one of their adventures. It seemed to be fiction, but, I mean, it kind of fits the description of that monster you read in their fiction book. So, I mean, they both came from separate places, so maybe they have some sort of thing in common.
Interesting.
It looks like a dragon, by the way, out of character.
Yeah, I could deduce it was a dragon. I have an idea. So, what if this is still in the period of my egg hasn't hatched yet, right?
Yeah.
well, ask, can I have this picture?
He tells you it's a prized possession from my parents. Here, I'll make a copy of it for you.
Good deal.
All right, so the next week he gives you a copy.
All right. Now, with this copy, I'm going to go to... I still have that brochure or voucher for the Big Boy Library.
Yes.
The Upper District one.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go in there, go to whoever, like, the bookkeeper, whatever is, and, like, show them the picture and say, do you got any books on a creature like this?
They sort of lower their spectacles and look at it and say, well, I've basically read every book there is here. And she looks over at the different books and she goes over to the fiction section and says, well, most of them are found here. There are some with winged monsters or fire-breathing monsters. I mean, I assume that one of your friends drew that from one of these books, correct?
Yeah, you could say that.
All right. And she gives you some books that all seem to be stories of ancient adventurers that all seem to be made up.
Well, gonna have the books, and, like, while I'm falling asleep or something, I'll be reading some of these books.
All right. So, eventually make an investigation check.
12.
Okay. Seems to be like they're just normal kids' books for the most part. You, at this point, have been you've gotten very good at reading quickly, and you sort of just read through them. They seem to be good stories, and you enjoy them pretty fully. Your dad eventually asks you what you're reading, and you tell them it's different stories, and he eventually picks one of the books up himself and starts reading. And eventually, that becomes one of your pastimes, is reading with your dad.
Let's go.
Even though he's much slower at reading, you do enjoy having him around for doing stuff you enjoy.
So we got family book night.
So with that, eventually you find a book that seems to be a bit thicker than the rest, and as you're going through, it seems to be a tale of what seems to be one of the people finding the quote-unquote monster's lair, and eventually finding their minions all around. Eventually, it's a sad story of his last days living, and he writes down what he found in their cave systems. And what you realize is it's written in a language that you know.
It's written in Draconic.
Yes, it is.
Is my dad, like, reading this same book with me?
No, he seems to be out at this point.
Okay, so he's not, like, reading this book, and I can continue reading, and he's like, wait, what? I can't read that. Okay, well, but, like, I can tell this isn't common.
Yeah, no, this is completely different dialect.
Well, I'm gonna keep reading it, though, since I can read it.
All right. So with that, you read that it seems to say, the master controls us, but we love the master. The dragon-born blood line reigns strong in us. And you can read a couple more passages which say, in basic, not in common, but in short, basically that the dragons will once rule this land, and our bloodline will grow strong in the humans that we infest.
All right, finally, my character has heard the term dragon. So
Yes,
after
dragon
that,
and dragonborn.
yeah. So after that, I'm immediately next meeting taking this book and showing this passage to them, and I'm assuming that they're not going to be able to read it, right? Because
Yes, they don't know how to read it. They tell you that
so I
this
just
is
read
very
it out loud
interesting.
to them.
Okay, yeah. So Christian looks over at you and says, "Dragonborn. That's must be what you are, like to a certain extent, of course."
Ooh. We finally, for the longest time, with all this reading about races, I thought I was like half satyr or something.
A couple of people laugh and says, we could definitely tell you're not a satyr. I mean, look at you. You don't have the fangs or the devil eyes."
Thank God, but like I was looking all over, and that's all I kept coming across.
Guyal looks over at you and snaps his fingers for a moment and says, "Wait, there's one thing that they always have in common. They can always breathe some sort of fire from their mouths. Can you do that?"
I tried, and it was actually cold, not hot.
"Oh, I see. Here, just so we don't freak anyone out, let's go outside the town." And Guyal leads you quickly over to the edge of town.
Okay.
He leads you towards more of the cliffside and says, "Well, let's try it."
I'm gonna try to do my ice breath.
All right, so make a survival check.
Come on, nice breath.
Bro! Oh, we almost got a net 20. Oh man, it's one off. Like it almost landed on that, but I didn't get a 19. Survival is wisdom, so we got an unnatural 1.
Oh my gosh. As you do, you try your hardest, and all you feel again is that minty taste in your breath. Christian looks over at you and pats you on the back and says, "Well, we can keep trying. I mean, this is not the only time we can do this."
Yeah. But
He
it was
looks...
consistent that it was cold.
Yes, he says there's definitely something there. And he sort of gets everyone together and says, "All right, guys, there is something I need to tell you." And he looks at everyone very sternly and says, "As a scientist myself, and as the children of scientists, there's only one thing in common wherever we go. Breakthroughs in science are usually met with harsh feedback. Sometimes even some great scientists that we knew of were put to death because of their research, being labeled as witches and warlocks." He looks at everyone and says, "Let's keep this secret. I mean, we don't want anything bad to happen to Priscilla, right?" And Sarah looks over and says, "Yeah, I mean, Priscilla, I mean, there's nothing wrong with you. We think it's really cool, but we just want to make sure that you're going to be safe."
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with the whole keeping my safety at a maximum thing.
Christian puts his hand in the middle and says, "All right, let's make a pact. We don't tell anyone outside this group of what Priscilla is capable of or where she comes from."
We'll put both hands in the middle.
All right, and everyone puts their hands in the middle, and Stella sort of hesitates for a moment and says, "Wait, guys, but shouldn't we tell people about, like, what's going on? I mean, what if, like, one of these dragon people tries and, like, gets her?"
All right. What's scarier? A chance of a dragon coming, or a guarantee that an entire town thinks I'm different and tries to change? People are scared of difference.
Make a persuasion check.
Got that +1 in charisma for a reason. 13.
All right. She looks at you and says, "You got a point. I just want to make sure that we're all safe." And she puts her hand in the middle. And Christian sort of grabs everyone's hands and says, "All right, this is for Priscilla, for the Falconers." And he puts his hand in the middle and puts it down for a moment. And he says, "All right, well, if we find anything about this, we'll report to Priscilla and to each other, okay?"
Okay.
All right, and he starts walking off and says, "Next week, come out here. Let's meet out here and let's try it again."
All right. And then the next week, we do that. I try my ice breath.
I'm gonna pause there for a moment since we've come forward in time quite a bit. It's at least been a couple months, and at this point, we do need to get some stuff straightened out. All this time, you've been looking for the cat, and you haven't seen it. He's been just missing this entire time. No sign of him. So, eventually, what are the other things that you're trying to do?
Well, I mean, obviously, I just make sure the egg is being kept properly.
Okay. I'm just going to allow that to be a passive thing, as you're just checking on it every day and making sure it's warm. Is there anything else? Or do you want to just put all your efforts in what we just did?
Well, I have those other 6 days, which...
What, 6 days?
Like, because, like, we meet once every day.
No,
so
no,
there's the other 6 days.
I'm going back in time to where I first asked you what you wanted to do.
Oh, this is before we've done anything.
Yes. Is there anything you else want to do besides just putting all your efforts into, like, these people and, like, finding out your, like, ancestry and all that?
Well, you've already said that it just through this I've, like, been hanging out with my dad.
Yeah. Okay.
My mom's a bitch. I don't want to hang out with her. Oh, hey, look, I found the cat.
Oh my gosh, Shadowcat's back?
Yeah.
No. I'm just gonna, sorry, she's just gonna be screaming at me, so.
So you said that it's been a couple months. Would he have like 60 gold or something by now?
I just want to make sure we go back in time and get this sorted out before we give him anything.
Like,
Yeah, so, I don't want to hang out with my mom. Is my mom always, like, brought Layla everywhere she goes?
Pretty much. At this point, Layla seems to be getting quite old.
Can she talk yet?
She can now talk, yes.
Are there times where I'm actually with her?
Yes, many times actually. Because your mom or your dad hangs out with her quite a bit, and usually after dinner, Layla plays with you a little bit.
Oh yeah, well I wanna hang out with my little girl, my little sister.
Okay, so make a persuasion check.
Got that +1 charisma for a reason. I guess we got a 6.
All right. So with that, you hang out with her all you can, and even though it's not a whole lot, you seem to be hanging out with your dad more often. And Layla, of course, since she's always grown up with you, trusts you and loves you just the same as your dad.
All right. Well, I want to make sure I have a good relationship with her.
Okay, so you spend time with her.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. I'll keep that in
Is she
mind.
developing any other Dragonborn like appearances, or is it just the advanced
No,
aging?
none.
It's just the aging faster thing. I'm not going to tell Layla about anything to do with the Dragonborn stuff.
All right. So,
Which,
one day,
I'm not going to do that.
something does happen, though. Layla looks at you and says, sister, I was wondering, where'd your cat go?
Is Dad nearby?
No, he is not.
Okay. How does Layla know what a cat is? Did I just did I tell her that? Or-
In passing, you have, especially before she learned how to talk, you talked about cats, and like when you were around the shadow cat, you've been talking about it.
Okay. Layla, I'm not too sure. He just hasn't shown up yet. I'm sure he's fine. He'll be fine.
She looks at you and says, "Well, I hope so. I really want to see him again."
I'm sure that when I find him again, I'll make sure that you can play with him.
She smiles at you and says thanks, and she gives you a hug.
Oh, I give her a big old hug.
All right. So with that, it's been at least 3 months, and we are going to give you some stuff. So 2 gold a day, 7 days a week. That's 14 gold a week. About 4 weeks in a month, right?
Yeah.
So
we're just gonna say simply 4 weeks a month. We're not gonna go like 31 or 30 days.
yeah. All right. So what's like 14 times 4?
Alexa,
Got this. I'm the math man.
what's 14 times 4?
56.
56, and then 56 times 3.
I'm not gonna ask.
168. 168.
All right. So you have 168 gold.
Dude, I'm rich. And that 5 silver still from that when I gave the 5 silver to the.
So 168.5.
Yes.
Okay,
To be
one thing I'm
exact.
gonna make sure that the whole reason I got a job, I replaced those bowls I broke.
Okay. Okay. So minus a total of 1 gold, and then your family has a bunch of new bowls.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. How much is this voucher?
This voucher is quite expensive. It's about for a whole year. It's about 50 gold.
Is it so? How long have I had it?
You've only had it for what seems to be 4 months.
Well, I'm just gonna tell Dad that when this voucher expires, I'll pay for a renewal myself.
He looks over at you and says, "Oh, that's great. I always knew you had a knack for reading. Look, if I ever need to use it, can I borrow it to go make sure I get some books myself?"
Oh yeah, Dad. Sure. I mean, you gave it to me after all. It'd be unfair if I didn't let you borrow it.
Maybe we can go to the library together.
Oh, that would be lovely, Dad.
All right. So, other than gold, we're gonna give you some stat upgrades. Give me your pool first.
31.
31. Got it. What? Give me your stats and how many times we upgraded it.
9 strength, no upgrades. 9 dexterity, 2 upgrades. 11 constitution, 4 upgrades. 10 intelligence, 3 upgrades. 8 wisdom, 1 upgrade. 12 charisma, 4 upgrades.
Okay. So, strength, we're not going to upgrade because you haven't been doing anything that requires strength. Dexterity, we're not going to upgrade because you've been pretty much researching the entire time. Doesn't really require that. Constitution, you've been eating well and living a good lifestyle. We're going to upgrade that by 1. So that's 4 to 5, right?
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upgrades, yes.
Okay. So that's just 1. The rest after 5 are going to cost more.
So I have 12 constitution. Our next stat with a +1.
All right. So your intelligence, since you've been researching a lot of this time and taking in a lot of information, we're going to upgrade your intelligence by 3.
Which means that it's been upgraded 6 times.
Total?
Yes.
Okay, 5 to 6 cost 2, I believe. Wait, before you do that, I'm going to make sure. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 to 6 cost 2. That is correct.
So it would go to only 12. And then once you upgrade it again, it'll go to 13. If you upgrade.
Sorry. Oh, just for upgrading it?
Like since it was 10, you upgraded it 3 times, but since it takes 2 after 5, I upgraded to 12. Intelligence total.
Oh, okay.
That's how it makes sense, right?
Okay.
Wait.
So what is your stat before we upgraded it 3 times?
It was 10.
10. So we would go 11, 12, 13. So it would be 13 for your base stat. And that cost 1, 2, 3, 4. That cost 4 points.
Cool.
Okay, now you've confused me.
Cameron, can you explain?
So when you are upgrading your stuff from 1 to 5, it just takes from the pool the 45 that you start with, it just takes 1. But as it gets more, it's exponentially more expensive from your pool. So since you're now going beyond 5 upgrades, it will take more from the pool to upgrade just 1 base level stat.
Okay. I thought that like it meant you like from this point on when you say upgrade your intelligence twice. I thought the base stat only increased by 1, so it's still 13
Yeah.
intelligence now.
Yeah.
But when I minus it from that 31, I'm going to -2 for that 1.
Mhm.
Right.
All right.
Got it.
So next is your wisdom, right?
Yes.
So since you've been trained as a falconer and you've been going around a lot of places and meeting new people, I'm gonna upgrade your wisdom by 3.
That will help with animal handling, right?
Yes, it will.
Yes.
Maybe you might get a 10.
Let's go. So now an animal handling checks will give me a +2 instead of only a +1.
Nice. What's your base wisdom stat now?
11.
11. How many times have we upgraded it?
4.
4. Got it. So now finally your charisma. Since you've been getting friends and getting a better relationship with Layla and your dad, I'm gonna upgrade that by 5.
Whoa. Whoa. +1. +1. 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. So that I have 17 charisma.
Wow. How many times have we upgraded that?
A grand smacked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times.
Okay.
Is that gonna
So
take the rest of your points?
let's see. That will go from so 5 to 6 costs 2. So make sure you -2 for the 5 to 6.
Well, I haven't actually been subtracted from the pool yet, so
Oh.
I got the 31. So we upgraded Constitution.
By 1.
Actually, what's easier for me to probably do this is I'm just going to. This is what I did last time. I'm just gonna give my 45 and then count all my upgrades and then figure out the.
Okay, yeah. So make sure from 5 to 6 you count 2, and from 6 to 7 is another 2, and then 7 to 8 is 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's 3.
Well, don't. You're gonna have to tell me that again once I get down to charisma.
Okay, so then just go through your thing and then tell me when you're ready.
1, 2, 3, 4. So 5. The 5th one doesn't take anymore, right?
Going to from 4 to 5 just counts 1.
Okay, the 6th one's the one that takes the second one.
Yeah.
So that's just gonna be a -5, which is 30. I'm bad at math. 7. No, 8. Yes, 38. Okay, so intelligence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the 6th. So the 5 and then a 2. So minusing the 5 from the I love going into math class to play D&D.
Yeah.
8 minus 5 is 3 and then -2, so 31. And then
Man, you still have 31 points to spend.
and well, now we got wisdom and the monster that is charisma.
Yeah.
So wisdom is 1, 2, 3, 4. So -4 from 31, which is 27. And now we got charisma. So the first 5, we're gonna do some pieces. So the first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So obviously we go down from 27. 22.
Wait, how many times have you upgraded charisma already?
9.
No,
I'm
no,
counting in
before that.
pieces. Excuse me?
You upgraded it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You upgraded it 4 times already, right?
Today, like before the session, yes.
Okay, you need to make sure you keep track of all your upgrades because you count those.
Yeah, like I have a way I can tell exactly how many times you've upgraded my stats.
Okay, so I'm just making sure when I'm asking you upgrade it 5 times, you're upgrading it from 4 to 5 and then 5 to 6, which is 2, you know.
Yeah, so right, I've just counted the 5, so now the 6th one is -2.
Okay.
Right.
So we're at 20 and we're at the 6th one. So does the 7th one
It's also 2.
is also 2. So we're at 18. The 8th one
Is I think he said it was 3.
it
7
3?
to 8, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's 3. Yeah, and then 8 to
So-
9, Wait. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 to 9 is 3 also.
Okay. I got my pool. My pool is 12.
Okay, man, we're getting down to the wire. So,
When that runs out, is that when I'm level 1?
what? Yeah,
Or,
well,
and
I mean,
have a class?
yeah, well, you have to. When you get down to the end of your pool, that's when you should start focusing on like what class you want to pick up, because you have to find
Okay,
roleplay
so-
reason for it.
So now I need... What is 17 add to a charisma check? or something?
17, man. That's 10 is 0, 12 is 1, 14 is 2, 16 is 3.
So
So
3.
that would be plus 3.
Let's go. We have a +3.
All right. And
Charisma.
also, I'm going to give you a
Animal handling, that'll be +5
Why?
because you have proficiency in it. Right? Oh wait, that was for charisma. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Listen to
okay,
anything I say ever.
That would be if I did have a proficiency in like persuasion.
which I'm going to give you right now. So skill. I need a list of skills that I can choose from. That makes sense. So no strength. Okay, go down with your skills, and then I'll say the ones that I'm going to give you the option of giving a proficiency for.
So acrobatics,
Okay, acrobatics. No, not really.
arcana,
Kinda no.
athletics.
Just keep going
Probably
down the
not.
list, and then I'll tell you which ones to keep in mind.
Okay, athletics, deception, history. That one might make sense, right? Since I've been reading a lot.
Actually, that does make sense. History would be one of them.
Insight,
No,
intimidation, investigation.
investigation's one of them.
Okay, I'm just gonna write like a little slash next to the ones that you say make sense. Medicine,
No,
nature,
no, not really.
perception.
Actually, no. Nature is the knowledge of all things nature. So sure, nature can be one of them.
Sure. Perception,
No,
performance,
no,
persuasion.
yes,
Yeah. Religion, definitely not.
no,
Sleight of hand,
no,
stealth,
no,
and then survival.
no.
Okay, so
I got a question before. Can you have multiple proficiencies in one thing, or is it just
No.
the one proficiency?
The only thing that allows you to do that is being a rogue, and that'll upgrade it multiple times.
So he can't just get really good at animal handling.
No, he cannot.
no. Okay, so the ones that make sense for me to choose from are history, investigation, nature, and persuasion.
Intelligence, wisdom, or charisma.
Yes. Wait.
Those
None
are
of them are wisdom.
Oh, I thought nature was.
No,
That's
nature's
intelligence.
intelligence.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fine. My bad.
Oh, okay.
What's your intelligence stat right now?
13.
And
Which is
that's
+1.
+1.
Yes.
You sure? Yeah, it is. So you could do it the same way you did last time, and even out your specific checks for a certain intelligence one with your highest thing, or you can just powerhouse yourself through charisma and have a +5 on every persuasion check.
I would be like the most persuasive person in the history of any
You would be a
persuasion
bard.
person ever.
You could seduce whatever you wanted.
Yeah, dude, I can fuck anything. No. I think I'm good on that. I don't think I'm gonna go with persuasion.
Okay, one thing I should tell you, the difference between investigation, history, and nature. Okay, so if you're like picking berries in the forest and you're like, hey, I want to know if this is poison, nature check. Hey, I want to try to see if this room is trapped, investigation. Hey, I want to see what I know about these carvings, or who made this. Was this made a long time ago? Was this made recently? What kind of people made this? History check.
I've also heard that some DMs will be like they told you something earlier, like just either your character heard something or just they told you a detail about something, and if they didn't write it down and they're trying to remember that detail you told them, they can make a history check to see if you'll tell them the information again.
Usually I'll tell you straight up, but if I'm annoyed with you and I was like, you should have wrote that down, then I'll make you make a history check.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with investigation, actually.
Okay, cool.
I think so.
Man, I
Yeah,
can't
we're
wait
gonna
for
go with that.
Priscilla to meet all the other players.
We're going with investigation, boys.
Bro, you're gonna be like an animal girl that can check for traps.
Yeah, dude.
Although that will all change when you choose Barbarian as your class and you just swing an axe.
Yeah. That's all
You're
gonna
just-
change.
You've never
once I
touched
be-
an instrument in your life, and you're like, I'd like to be a bard, please.
One
Yeah, that's all gonna
bard,
change when I'm gonna
please.
become a goddamn paladin.
What do you?
You'd have to like your role play would have to be so perfect for your class to become paladin at the end of this.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think your class will end up being?
I'm still thinking ranger because rangers are the animal and hunter trap investigator ones.
That's true. That's true.
The thing is, we don't know what all the homebrew classes you have are.
That's true.
True. Also, I'm gonna change my way of writing upgrades down. Instead of just writing +1, +1, +1, I'm gonna do tally marks because that is a lot more
That sounds
convenient to read.
better. Not gonna lie.
It's a lot more convenient to read tally marks. So you can. I don't have. It doesn't take too much effort for me to do this, so you can
okay.
continue.
Okay. Well, one more thing for the upgrades. So in your pastime, you do see different books there in the premium library that are translators that will allow you to learn a language. Do you wish to study one?
So your rule on learning skills and languages, what was it?
Okay. You can learn 2 skills, which you're already done with. Don't worry about it. You can learn up
Okay.
to the total of 2 tool proficiencies or 2 languages, or 1 tool proficiency and 1 language.
Okay.
Do you have any right now?
No. I do not have any proficiencies in tools, and I have my base 2 languages. So I could learn another language. What other language would it be, though?
You want me to tell you your options out of all the books that you found?
Sure.
Could be giant, goblin, halfling, or undercommon.
Undercommon?
Yes, I can tell you about
What
it
is
if you'd like.
undercommon?
Okay, give me a second. I'm gonna look it up so I don't get this wrong. Undercommon. It was the trade language spoken by the majority of intelligence races native to the Underdark. Speakers of Undercommon include Aboleth, Choker, Chul, Cloaker, blah, 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 Drow, Orc, Grimlock, and Mind Flayer races.
Mind flayers.
Although majority
What
are
are my
just
other-
drows and different things like that.
Okay, what was the other options as an undercommon?
I'm pulling it back up. Sorry. Okay, you had giant, gnomish. Wait, no, not gnomish. Okay, giant, goblin, halfling, or undercommon.
What is a halfling language?
Just basically the Hobbit people language.
Ah, Frodo Baggins.
Yes.
But they speak English in the movie, so.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That is true. What for roleplay sense? What would be Priscilla's most common language she runs into that she can't understand?
Really? Everyone here speaks common, man. You wouldn't run into any
Like
other
while
languages.
she's reading a book, not like listening to people
Oh,
talk
reading a
to her.
book. Depends on what
Like
books
the
you're
language
reading.
she can't read.
If you're reading like stories of like ancient mythos, that would probably be, to be honest, you would see the most common one you said.
like, yeah, the one she would run into the most that she can't read.
If you're looking for like stories or tales of dragons, probably Goblin. Not gonna lie.
Goblin. Well, we've established that she just reads now. Like, she just does that.
Yeah, she does that.
So, maybe
Well,
not specifically about Dragon Tales.
Okay.
Amazing
Well,
show.
if you're looking in the more section, actually, when you go to the library with your dad, he's actually kind of frustrated because a lot of the books he wants to read are written in Halfling, because they're mainly about farming and like old fairy tales and stuff. I've only seen a couple books written in Giant, and they seem to be like basically historical tales of like different ages. And you've seen a rare few dusty books that are written in Undercommon.
So it's between Halfling to help out my dad or Undercommon because I'm actually really interested in these old dusty books.
I don't know if Riley would allow this, but maybe you could just learn whatever language you wanted and then bring the halfling book to your dad and see if your dad has interest in learning a new language.
Also, keep in mind you have a third option that is don't learn any of them and wait till a different point in the game where you can learn a different language, or you'd rather just learn a tool proficiency.
That is true.
I have a question. You might
Yeah.
have just answered that with what you just said, but maybe not. If he doesn't pick something now, but later on he decides he knows which one he wants, could he always just go back to those and learn it then, or would he have to wait for another time like this where we're upgrading a bunch of stats?
No, he could go back and say, I want to learn this. It'll take a while, but you need to have a stretch of time where it's like a couple months to even years, depending on how hard the language is.
How hard would Undercommon be?
Undercommon would be pretty much the hardest one for you to read. It would take about a year.
The most strenuous one.
It would take about like a year to a year and a half, depending on how fast you are at reading it.
That does. I kind of want to do Undercommon.
Okay. Also, I should let you know, you need to have your complete tool/language proficiency before I'll allow you to upgrade to level 1.
So, I will need to get another tool/language before I can go to level 1.
Yes.
Plus, finish this pool, plus find a class.
Yes, exactly.
How did Ronnie get to level 1 so quickly?
Because we grinded. He grinded really hard to like try to get something.
Yeah, like, how many sessions has Ronnie had?
3.
2.
Oh,
2.
yeah, 3.
And
2.
did he reach level 1 in his first or second?
Second, at the very end of the second.
Okay, because I was gonna say this man's did all this in one like 2-hour stretch. Doing it in 2-hour stretches already seems like,
It was
wow,
more
okay.
like a total of 2, 3, 4, 5. It took about 5 hours of gameplay.
Okay. We're gonna learn Undercommon.
All right. So you pick the translator out, you take it out, and do you wish to just do that in your pastime?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna make you make an investigation check.
With my brand smacking new proficiency in investigation,
Yeah.
we got a 9 still.
Okay. You are learning just at a normal pace. At this pace, it'll probably take a year and a half to learn.
Okay.
And obviously, you minus 3 months off of that. You're at the end of 3 months. So I think now is a good time to tell you 3 months have passed. All that has happened, and
My bird.
you notice little pecks at your egg.
A little birdie.
So you notice like it's starting to crack a little bit.
And can I like hear like little jib jabs at the egg?
You can hear every once in a while a little peck.
I should probably. Is Hudok arrived back yet?
You see him every once in a while, but he just asks you how your egg is banging.
Well, I should go to him and say, "Yo, my egg be cracking and stuff."
He looks over at you after you find him, and he quickly rushes over to your house, where you can see your sister is watching the egg very closely.
Okay.
Crack-a-lackin'. Oh, my egg. Hey.
That's the dumbest thing. Is like my sister like right up on it?
She seems to be staring pretty closely. You've been keeping it
like,
on the
hey,
windowsill, so.
I was like, hey Layla, can you step back a bit from the egg? I need my teacher to look at it.
All right, she does. And Hudok looks over it and zooms in with his spectacles and says, yes, it should take about a week for it to hatch fully, but it seems like you've prepared it very well. It's going to be quite healthy.
Oh, let's go. What do I do to make sure it hatches properly?
He says, to be honest, I just keep an eye on it. When you're not watching it, have your sister watch it.
You think you're up for that tremendous task, Layla?
Layla says yes, completely.
Yes, she is stirred ready for this.
All right.
Oh, Layla, you won't let me down, will you?
She shakes her head no.
That's my little sister.
All right. So with that, you see that the next couple weeks, the egg starts hatching and cracking a little bit more and more until one day you're out reading your books with your dad, and Layla bursts open the door and says, "Sister, come in!"
Oh, all right. Well, I hurry in there.
All right, your dad follows, and you can see the egg is starting to shift a little bit. And eventually,
do I have like stuff to feed it, like worms?
you have worms in preparation. Very small worms, of course.
Okay, good.
And eventually, a crack opens up into a hole, and you can see a beak poking out, chirping.
Oh, look, he/she, I'm not gonna assume. He's almost ready.
Your dad slaps you on the back and says, "Wow, good girl. You seem to have raised your first little kid. Now the hard part comes." And he sort of smiles as he sets you down and says, "This is going to be a lot of work, so make sure you take care of it, or else it's going to turn out like Layla." And he points over at her, and she sort of laughs and says, "Dad, I'm just fine. What are you talking about?" And he whispers in your ear, "Oh, she's not fine. She's got a rare disease that's going to kill her."
Wait, are we serious? Or is this a joke?
Layla sort of comes up to both of you and says, "What are you guys talking about?"
Oh, Layla, it's fine. We're just cracking a few jokes. And I go back to my dad. Wait, seriously, is this a joke? Or...
He said, "No, this is a joke. Don't worry about it. Layla's fine."
Okay, thank you. Just making sure.
He laughs and sort of sits back in the bed and says, "But seriously, though, you need to keep a close eye on this thing."
Yes, sir. I'm going to put 110% of my effort to make sure that this beautiful specimen stays alive.
He looks over at you and says, "Oh, that's good." And he walks away and says, "I'm going to make dinner."
Thank you.
All right. So eventually you and Layla watch as the egg cracks open, and you can finally see him poking his head out. He sort of stumbles out of the egg and with the little makeshift nest that you've made him, and he looks at you and Layla and screeches.
Oh, he's hatched. I'm gonna try to give him a little worm.
All right. As you do, make an animal handling check.
Let's go. Another one. 13.
13. Got it. So, with giving him the worm, he eats it.
14.
Okay, he eats it whole. He eats it wholeheartedly and screeches at you. And as he like ruffles his feathers, you can see a feather on his head pokes up and stands sort of at a curve upward.
Well, he's got a cowlick. Oh, can I like try to maybe like give him a little light pets?
Yes, you can. Make an animal handling check.
All right, I gotta remember it's +2 now.
Playing with fire here, Davis.
I mean, we got an 8 anyway.
All right. The bird sort of hops over to the corner to get out of your grasp and screeches at you.
Oh man, I didn't get to pet him.
Layla says, "Can I pet him? Can I pet him?"
I mean, you could try. You just gotta be real careful.
All right. And as Layla does, she puts her sort of chubby hand out and starts petting the bird. And he goes up a little closer to Layla and says, "I think he likes me."
Yeah, I've had a bit of a shaky reputation with animals.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, what are we gonna name him?
Yeah, I haven't been putting too much thought into that. Out of character, is it a male bird or?
It seems to be a male bird. Yes.
Okay, so
Ed.
Cameron, we got to come up with just a name for a male bird.
Ed.
We're not gonna name him Ed.
Layla looks over at you and says, "I think you should name him Mr. Bird, 'cause he's a bird."
Layla, that's real creative, but I kind of want the name to be something I came up with.
All right. She looks sort of dejected and crosses her arms and says, "I was just trying to help."
I mean, you're welcome to give me more ideas, and maybe they'll inspire me. Just not Mr. Bird.
All right.
Mrs. Bird.
She looks over at you and says, "Mr. Feathers, because he has feathers."
Another great idea.
All right. So you guys can talk out of the game and see what you want to name him. Or if you don't want to name him at all, just let me know.
Well, I want to give him a name.
All right.
So, should it be like a name that kind of complements Shadow?
Maybe.
Because Shadow's the name of the cat. So he's blue and like purple. Dawn is like
Maybe.
oh
Sully from
Well-
Pixar's Monsters Inc.
Sully. We're not naming him Sully. Kind of like Dawn.
Dawn sounds pretty cool. I like that.
Now wait, is this D-O-N or D-A-W-N? Are we talking Dawn or are we talking Dawn?
Hey, Dawn! Get over here!
I think it would probably be spelled like D-A-W-N.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I haven't. What if you, just to make Layla or whatever her name is happy, you could call him just call him Dawn, but you can tell her his full name is Mr. Dawn Feathers.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, we're doing that. All right. Okay, back in character, back in roleplay. All right, Layla. I think I got the name. One of your names inspired me a lot on this. We're gonna call him. His full name's gonna be Mr. Dawn Feathers.
She
Dawn
looks
for
confused
short.
for a moment and says, "Oh, that's like my name that I gave him. Yeah."
Yeah, you came up with a real good one there.
She sort of smiles at you and looks out the window for a moment, and she stops laughing. And then she quickly runs out your door.
My drawer?
Your
Or my-
door, sorry.
Is Kitty Cat on the window?
You look outside, make a perception check.
Perception. What is that? It's
Wisdom.
wisdom. So I got a 15.
As you look outside, you see two eyes coming from one of the shadows in one of the alleyways.
Are they purple?
They are purple.
Hey,
It's Shadow. Hey, I need to make sure he doesn't eat this bird.
don't put it in a bowl.
So is the bird's like in his nest, right?
Yeah, the bird's in his nest.
Is he like sitting there and is pretty comfy?
Yeah, he's seems to be a little tired, but he seems to be good.
So he should be fine. I'm gonna go chase Layla.
All right. So as you chase her down the alleyway that she seems to be running down, she jumps on something, and you hear, and you hear her say,
Can I
"Calm down,
provide a sound
Mr.
effect?
Kitty!" And she sort of seems to be wrestling something on the ground, and you see what seems to be the shadow cat trying to get out of her grasp. And Layla says,
Does it have
"Mr.
the
Kitty,
bow
get
tie
down!"
on? Does
What?
it have the bow tie?
It still has the bow tie, yeah.
Layla, stop wrestling him. Give him some space.
She's gonna run away again.
Layla, he's not gonna run away again. If you keep holding him down, he's gonna want to run away.
She says, fine, and she sort of loosens her grip. And the cat sort of hisses at her for a moment and jumps out of her grasp and slowly starts going around her in circles and eventually calming down to enough where he lets her pet her.
I want to go over to him and keep petting him with Layla.
All right. So as you start petting him, he looks at you for a moment and purrs and looks back up at the sky.
I'm gonna look at the sky. Is there anything weird going on up there?
Make a perception check.
Ooh, we got another 15.
All right. As you do look around, you see it's sort of a normal day, but you see clouds forming on the mountaintops.
Uh-oh. Well, I'm gonna go, Layla. I think we should go back inside. Don't want Mr. Don Feathers to get lonely.
She said, "Yeah, can we bring Mr. Kitty with us?"
Yeah, come on, Shadow. And at this point, I've given the name Shadow to him in game as well.
Okay. So, Shadow follows you, so I don't have to call him Cat or Shadow Cat anymore.
You don't have to call him Kitty Cat. He's Shadow.
Yeah. So he follows you, and eventually you get towards the door, and or like the back side of the house, and he looks up at the windowsill, and he sees the bird, and he seems to be fixated.
Oh, I need to make sure you don't eat that bird. All right. I don't know if it understands English, but I'm gonna say, Shadow, whatever you do not eat that bird. He's not food.
Layla looks back and says, "Mr. Kitty wants to eat Dawn?"
I'm just saying, in case there's any confusion, Dawn is not food.
I almost called him Mr. Kitty. Shadow looks up and licks his lips.
Okay. Are we like inside?
You're about to get inside, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna make some food, like I don't know, something to eat for Shadow, so he doesn't eat the bird.
All right. And as you do, you enter in the house and start making some food. And eventually your dad comes in and greets you and Layla. And Layla looks over at your dad and says, "Mr. Kitty came back." And your dad looks confused for a moment and says, "Who's Mr. Kitty?" And he looks at you.
Okay, pause. Cameron, what do we say?
Well, first of all, the bow tie is gonna be floating around the house.
Oh yeah, I did take the bow tie off of him.
Oh, you want to take the bow tie off?
I guess we might Huh?
You want to take the bow tie off?
Well,
Like, where is he?
now.
Can I?
He just seems to be laying around the kitchen.
Does
well-
the dad see it?
No, he doesn't seem to see it.
I wouldn't draw attention to it.
I'm just gonna give like the most bare bone answer. It's a friend me and Layla have been playing with.
Layla quickly runs over to Shadow and picks him up and says, "See?" And your dad looks at her hands and sort of says, "Oh yeah, Mr. Kitty. I was wondering where he went," and sort of smiles at you and looks down at Layla and says, "Yes, I was wondering when he would come back. Mr. Kitty, don't run away ever again. Because you're Layla's best friend, isn't that right?" And Layla looks over at you and says, "No, sister is. But Mr. Kitty is, quote, close second."
Yeah, Mr. Kitty is close second.
Your dad looks over at both of you and says, "Well, it seems like you guys had a pretty good day." And he goes and checks in on your room and says, "Oh, seems like our little guy is hatched. Have you given him a name yet?"
His name's gonna be Don.
Oh,
Full
good
name, Mr. Don Feathers.
He sort of
Inspired
rolls his
by
eyes for a moment and says, "Oh, that sounds like something Layla would make up."
Just whisper. Yeah, that's kind of what she did.
He sneezes for a moment and sort of gets back and says, "Well, Layla, I thought I'd let you know. Me and your mother have been talking, and we realized that you're getting older. We're going to make you your own room. Does that sound good for you?" And she nods her head and He says, "This is the area we're gonna build it at. I'm gonna hire some construction workers. It'll
I
be
wanna
done
say-
in about a month."
I'm gonna say, hey, Dad, before you do that, I did notice more clouds on the mountains. I'd wait to see if a storm is coming before you start construction on the house.
Oh, he looks over at you and says, "Oh, I didn't realize that. I'll talk to some people, and if they concur, we can wait for a little bit."
All right, just want to make sure our house doesn't get blown over.
He says, "Yes, that would be quite bad. But remember, we always have the gnomes. They are the best constructors in all the land."
Yeah. Gonna pretend like I definitely knew that.
He looks over at you and sort of bangs on the wall, and he says, "These walls can hold up to the highest of any storm. I mean, think about it. The gnomes built the walls, and they built all the houses."
Yeah, there's some crafty little.
He looks over at you and says, "So, you making food for us?"
Yes, sir. I thought I would try cooking tonight.
All right. Well, let me go when it's ready. And he seems to take a couple books from the counter and sits down on the kitchen table. And you can see Layla playing with the shadow.
Okay. So we've also figured out that he can't see the bow tie either, because I think he would have mentioned the floating bow tie.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. So, yeah, I'm just gonna cook food.
All right. So eventually your mom gets home and she asks Layla how her day was doing. And she asks you how your day was doing.
Yeah, it was been great. My falcon hatched.
She says that's great. And she starts walking towards her room. And Layla looks over at her and says, "You haven't said hi to Mr. Kitty yet." And she holds up Shadow for a moment. And she looks confused down at Layla, and says, "What do you mean?" And your dad gives her a wink and says, "Oh, it seems like Layla's found her little friend again. Remember that cat she used to always talk about?" And she looks confused and then looks over at me and says, "Didn't you invite that cat into this place?"
She looked at me and said that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a friend for Layla and me to hang out with.
She looks over at Layla and pats her head at it for a moment and says, "Look, Layla, I'm sorry to say this, but Mr. Kitty's a pretend friend. Don't let your sister's ideas get into your head."
I wouldn't try to convince her of that one. Now it's gonna be a really hard sell.
She looks over at you and says, "Well, this is your fault. You're the one who introduced her to the pretend cat."
Dude, throw whatever you're cooking in her face. I don't.
No, I'm not gonna burn my mom's face with cooked whatever I'm making. I'm just gonna say, hey, I'm sorry that I'm trying to give Layla something to live for, man.
She looks over at you and says, "Well, I don't want Layla to turn out like you. I mean, look at her. She doesn't have any imperfections. She looks exactly like me when I was her age." And she stomps off into her room and she grabs a wine bottle on the way.
Well, someone didn't sell enough flowers. By the way, just to know, am I making like the most money in this house, or?
It seems like your dad and your mom make more than you.
Oh, okay. So I can't just say I make more. Well, considering that in all of my other times playing D&D, having like 10 gold is like being the richest man ever. So
really?
having more than that.
That's the opposite for me. It's like all my players have like 7,000 gold, and they don't care about any of it.
Okay, great to know. Anyway,
This is different though.
Well,
This is very different. Like that gold is gonna come in handy.
good. So she's just in her room now.
Yes, she is. Your dad is still reading his books. It seems to be about farming.
He was just reading that whole time.
Yes, he seemed to try to ignore it as best as possible.
Well, I'm gonna finish making food.
All right. So eventually, you guys make your food, and it turns nighttime, and it's time to go to bed. Everyone goes to bed, and you just lead Shadow into your room.
Yeah, I made sure I had some leftovers to give him.
All right. You give it to him, and as he eats, he stares over at the bird for a moment, and then hops up onto your bed and tries to fall asleep.
Okay. He's not trying to eat the bird. That's good. All right. Well. So is Layla? Does she sleep in my room or?
No, she sleeps in your parents' room.
Okay, so I'm just in the room by myself with the cat and the bird.
Yeah.
Okay, so kitty cat Shadow's falling asleep. What the bird doing?
The bird also seems to be asleep.
Oh, well, I guess I'll continue trying to learn Undercommon like I was.
All right. So the next couple months pass, and you hear word around town that a storm is brewing in the mountaintops again, but it seems to be worse than the last. Seems to be the one that they need to prepare for. You see most of the gnomes in the town starting to build structures around the wall to make sure they don't get blown over. And they also prepare some of the houses that are on the north side near the mountain. You also see that the cat is seeming to get more and more interest in the bird. Every morning you wake up, you see the cat sort of just staring at the bird.
Okay. Speaking of the bird, how long does this type of bird take until it's like adult or young adult?
So from hatching till when they can learn how to fly, it takes about 2 months.
So has it been long enough for that?
You eventually introduce the bird to all your friends, and basically you raise it up the best you can until it's time for it to learn how to fly. So you can see it's starting to flutter its feathers. Do you wish to do anything?
Like right now, am I in like Falconer camp?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna do what I would do to try to help it fly, or
what is that?
That is an excellent question. Maybe like perch it up on my hand so that it's high up, so that it has a bit of height to start with.
All right. So, as everyone's gathered around again, Hudok sends out for all the Falconers to get back together to watch you try to teach your bird. And you see everyone sort of just watching you try to teach it. You see the bird fall off a couple times and hit the ground. Of course, it gets back up, and you put it back in the nest for it to try to fly again. And it's seeming to have a little bit of struggle. Nicholas looks over at you and says, "The way I had my burn trade is to go over to the cliffside and let it fall."
That seems a bit extreme.
Sarah looks over at you in agreement and says, "Yeah, don't do that." And she says, "Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure it's fine." Hudok steps up to both of you and says, "Well, there are 2 ways to train it. You can have it fail and fail and fail until it tries again, or you can have it have one make-or-break solution like Nicholas did."
What if I have an in-between of that where it's relatively high, that it's going to be like, whoa, that's a big drop. I don't want to do that, but it's not going to like just outright die.
I wouldn't recommend that because your bird might get injured if they have any sense of hesitation.
True. I'm going to just keep trying to do the method of not yeeting it off a cliff.
All right. So, make an animal handling check.
Let's go. Another one. Another one. Another one. An unnatural 20.
Nice. As you keep trying, it takes about an hour until he finally gets off the ground and he flutters by. He eventually, after soaring through the air a little bit, he comes back to you and lands on your hands. And he looks at you.
Let's go. I'm going to feed him as a reward.
All right. So, Sarah and everyone else give you claps except for Nicholas and Hudok. And Hudok says, "Oh, very good. Well, how about in 1 week we continue our training?"
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. So, eventually Hudok and Nicholas leave, and Sarah looks at all of you and says, "Well, I mean, just because Priscilla's trained her falcon doesn't mean that we can't just keep meeting. Do you guys want to keep the meetings going?"
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. So everyone else puts their heads together and says, "Let's do it." So,
next meeting, I want to try Ice Breath again.
all right. So, with that, you guys continue trying to doing that. Make a survival check.
Come on.
Let's see, am I gonna get something that actually lets something happen?
Go for
Maybe. What is survival? Wisdom?
Yeah.
So I got a 12.
Oh, this time you actually, after a little bit of practice, get it down to the point where you try to breathe ice, and the ice forms in front of you, and eventually it hits the ground in the grass, and it all freezes over. And the Falconers give you some claps.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm exhausted. Like, hey guys, see, I can do it.
Sarah looks over at you and says, "This is great news. If we keep practicing like this, maybe we could use it."
In caution, in cautiously, maybe.
She says, "Of course, of course. Now, let's go out for some food." And everyone heads out. And do you wish to head with them?
Just real quick, how long until people predict that storm's coming?
They say it's gonna happen in about another month.
Okay, so I'll hang with the friends.
All right. So with that, you continue heading with the friends, and they all look at you as they sort of go into a tavern. At this point, you seem to be about I don't know, how long has it been? You were like
At
15,
least like a while.
16. So I'd say you're about 17 at this point.
Which mature, like physically wise, I'd be like in my like early 20s.
Yeah. Everyone else seemed to be about the same age as you. Like early 20s, that is.
Okay,
And
yeah.
with that, Sarah says she's buying drinks for everyone.
I've never had alcohol before.
No, you have
I'm
not.
this. Oh, I'm not gonna be a bitch boy, so I'm gonna accept a drink.
All right. So with that, as you enter into the tavern, she orders drinks for everyone. You also notice a figure in the back, sort of drinking alone with a falcon.
Is it Nicholas?
You assume it's Nicholas.
I'm gonna get, hey guys, I think Nicholas is over there drinking alone.
Sarah looks over at you and says, "Do you think we should invite him?"
I mean, I don't see much of a harm, but on the down, let's keep that whole ice breath on the down low.
Yes, everyone nods, and eventually Christian gets up and starts walking towards him. He talks to him for a moment, and Nicholas looks over at all of you and sort of shrugs his shoulders and approaches all of you and slides up a chair and says, "Hey guys."
Hey, what's up? Look at us, all the Falconer bros together having some drinks.
Yeah, that's great. And he orders another drink for himself and starts drinking. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Sarah says.
So do I have a thing of what I'm assuming is like ale or beer in front of me?
Oh yeah, it seems to be just regular ale.
So I'm assuming through all my like adventures of books, I know what ale is. and
Oh
I can
yeah,
assume this
your
is ale.
dad has told you about ale before.
I'm just saying, I've never really had an ale before.
Ghoul sort of laughs for a moment and says, "Here, try it."
Like, does he hand me his, or do I?
No, he just like points over to yours.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take a sip or swig or something.
All right. So you take a sip, and it's very almost it's nothing like you've ever tasted before, and it's hard going down, but you do it. And Stella pats you on the back and says, "There we go." And she says, "Another round." And the bartender gets everyone else a drink. So you now have 2 drinks.
I'm just gonna try to see if I can finish one of them.
All right, make a Constitution saving throw.
Let's go. We got a 17.
All right, with that, you
I can
feel
hold my liquor.
you feel just slightly buzzed. That's it. And at this point, everyone else has finished their first drink and they're on their second. Is there anything you wish to talk about?
I would discourage people from getting too drunk. They might let slip that you're Dragonborn around Nicholas. Is that something you wanted to know?
That Yeah, that is true. I was like, hey guys, let's make sure that we don't like drink too much to the point where we regret it later. You know.
Make a persuasion check.
That's what I. Wait, I don't. I was about to say that's what I got that precision for, but I don't have that. But this is what I have my high ass charisma for, and I got an 18.
All right. Everyone else kind of looks at you and says, sure. We don't want anything slipping now, do we? And Stella sort of nudges you under the table.
Yeah.
So at this point, actually, Nicholas looks around at everyone and says, hey, thanks for inviting me to drink, guys. I haven't really had a drinking partner for a long time.
Oh, dude, don't worry about it. You're welcome to hang out with us.
He looks at all of you again and says, yeah, I know. It's just, I've been busy and, I don't know. I have to take care of my mom a lot of the time, so I don't really have that much free time.
I mean, if you want to talk about it, we're here for you. But obviously, if you don't, we're not forcing you to tell us stuff you don't want to.
Make a persuasion check.
High-ass charisma increases that to bad at math man here, 12.
Okay. Looks over at all of you and says, I'd rather not. My mom's just a little sick, and I am there for her to take care of.
And that's pretty commendable, actually.
Yeah, everyone else
Like,
looks
I know
around
if my
and shakes their
mom's
head.
sick, I'd want to protect her.
He looks over at you and says, well, what kind of relationship do you have with your mom?
I mean, it's been a bit shaky, but I still love her, and I don't wish any much ill will on her.
He looks over at you and says, I get it. We all have shaky relationships with people in our family. My dad used to be like that, and he drinks another drink and orders another, starts drinking it down too. He says, that was my old drinking partner.
Unless you don't want to talk about it, you mind telling us what changed?
He looks over at everyone and says, nah, I'd rather not. Let's just drink.
Yeah, that's fine. And we're gonna continue drinking.
All right, make a Constitution saving throw.
Let's see. Was that just a fluke, or can I actually hold my liquor? I can actually hold my liquor. I got a 17.
All right, you feel buzzed at this point, but you feel absolutely in control of yourself. And
Okay.
everyone else seems to also, except for Stella, who seems to be going off the deep end just a little bit. And she's sort of weirdly talking to Stara a little bit.
I should be like, hey, I think that we should cut this get together to an end. It's been really fun, guys, but I think that Stella needs a bit of time to rest.
Christian looks over and says, yeah, I'll help her home. You guys can head out. And Stella looks over and says, no, I'm good. Let's just keep going.
Nah, Stella, you should go home.
All right, make a persuasion check.
That's what we got that high-ass charisma for. And we got a 12 anyway. So.
All right. With that, she says, fine, party poopers. And Christian starts walking her home. With that, eventually you guys start spreading out and saying your goodbyes. And Nicholas looks over at you guys and says, hey, if you ever want to grab another drink, let me know. I might be around.
We'll let you know, partner.
He sort of gives you a smile and heads out with his falcon.
So we got a new one?
No, Christian.
No, Christian is the one that lost it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nicholas is the one that had that unique one this whole time.
Yes.
All right. So, do you guys just head out with Sarah, Ghoul, and Guyal, and that's it?
Yeah, we're just gonna walk around. We're like walk out the bar together, and probably I'm assuming it's close to night, right? Because we've been in this bar for a while. I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's close to night.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna like say our good nights and just like see you later, alligator.
All right. And as you do, Sarah eventually turns towards you guys and stops you for a moment and says, so, I got something to tell you guys. Christian might be in for a little bit of an adventure.
Some going down?
She says, maybe. Well, ever since Christian joined the group, Stella's got a little thing for him. I'm not sure if this is the right time, if she's going to make her move, but maybe by the next time we see him, he'll be a,
Yeah, he's gonna be a young man. I'm hoping that my characters learned about sex for these books, right?
Yeah, you have.
Okay. Yeah. So he's gonna become a young man next time we see him.
So Sarah looks around and says, do you guys have any crushes?
Out of game, my character probably doesn't like think of anyone as a crush.
That's up to you, though, right?
I don't think so, right?
I mean, whatever you think your character would like.
You've been spending a lot of time with these people.
I mean, like, they're friends, right?
Yeah, they're all really good friends.
So, but I don't think I'm like. I mean, I don't know, Sarah, kind of fine.
What about the teacher?
Oh my gosh, the old gnome with the big nose.
Gilf? What did she like, Sarah? I'll just say like a coy like, no one immediately comes to mind. But not saying I'm discouraged to the prospect of me finding someone.
All right, so Sarah looks over at you and says, all right, keep your secrets. And Hudok looks down for a moment.
Is she Frodo?
Yes, she is.
Keep your secrets.
Hudok looks down for a moment, almost sad looking, and he says, no, I'm going to head out.
Did you mean Guile, not Hudok?
No, yeah, sorry, Guile.
Like, our teacher's been with us this whole time? Wait a minute.
Hey, guys, have another drink.
Okay, no, Guile.
Yeah.
What did he do again?
He looked sad for a moment and said, no, I'm going to probably head out, you guys.
You like Stella too?
Maybe, we don't know. Well, anyway, so he's gone.
Yep, he is now gone. It's just you and Sarah.
Hey, well, you like jazz?
Do you actually say that? Does jazz even exist?
I mean, it's type of music that bards would rarely play, but no, she really wouldn't, and Priscilla probably wouldn't either.
What is the type of music that is similar to jazz that makes sense of the D&D universe?
That you would know? I don't know. Just like tavern music, I guess.
Hey, you like limericks?
Hey, you like that accordion? No, I'm just gonna do like a really cringy guys for like, so, kind of music you listen to?
She looks over at you. Make a deception check.
What am I deceiving her for?
Well, actually, no. This would be a charisma saving throw. My bad.
Well, either way, I got an unnatural 20, so...
Okay. She looks at you and says, what'd you say?
What kind of music you like?
Well, I'm not really into music, I guess.
She's a librarian.
So, working at that library, you must read a lot. I
Yep.
read a lot, too.
Yep. I do.
Alright, good song.
She says, all right, well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow, right?
Yes, see you tomorrow.
All right, make another charisma saving throw.
I'll make the excuse that I'm drunk. I got a 5.
As you look at her, your senses, since you're a little buzzed, are your signals are going off a little bit in your head,
Oh,
and she looks pretty fine in the moonlight. Her almost golden hair reflects off the moon, and she slowly starts walking towards you. And she says, "Yeah, I think I know what's going on here." And she looks at you and says, "Hey, and she puts her arm on your
Hey.
shoulder. She says, "Listen, I gotta tell you something."
Lay it on me.
She says, "Listen, you're really pretty and all, but I don't think I'm really wanting to date anyone right now.
Ah, I see.
You see, I don't know. I just don't really like anyone right now, and I don't know."
Nah, it's fine. I don't know what got in me.
But I'll tell you what, if Stella doesn't get picked up by Christian, well, you go, girl.
Oh, I'm me. Ooh. I guess we'll have to see how that one works out.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna head out. I'm getting kind of tired, anyways. See you later.
See,
All right. So
I'm gonna go on home.
with that, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. So, with that, at this point, enough time passes where I'm gonna make another investigation check.
Just for my what language?
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense. Oh, that's a good roll. And then I got another unnatural 20.
All right. So, with that, you seem to be learning the language very fast at this point. You're getting the hang of it. You only have like a month or two before it's completely learned.
Let's go.
So, another thing I'm going to ask you is, so what are you doing these next couple months?
Bird.
Trading the bird?
Yes.
Is the cat still around?
Yep, cat's still around, and the storm is brewing up in the mountaintops.
Oh. Yeah, I'm mostly making sure that my bird gets trained up and he's healthy.
All right. So, I'm going to make you make one animal handling check.
Another one. Mother. It's a 10.
All right. With
Not
that,
terrible.
this is to see like how you form a bond at a very early age, and you and the bird seem to be having a pretty good relationship, even though the bird seems to like Layla a little bit more than you. And at this point, also the construction of her room is going on. Your father told you that he talked to some of the people, and the storm shouldn't be around for quite some time. So they start construction on that as well.
Hope so.
Eventually, I'm gonna make you make another animal handling check for early stages of training on flying.
So that was for relationship. This is on training. 11.
All right, you seem to be doing pretty good with training them how to fly, as you've already done that before with Sarah's, and everyone seems to be liking your little bird friend. So make one more animal handling check, and this is for advanced flight maneuvers.
Advanced. Finally, an unnatural 20.
Okay.
So you're just decent at regular flying, but when you're doing loop-de-loops, he's like on point.
Well, when it comes to
goddamn
tricks and stuff, he's very good. But when it comes to flight speed and his general coordination, it's a little shaky. Also, he doesn't listen to you sometimes, so that might be what's happening.
Bitch.
So
Gotta teach him who's bought. No,
eventually, he gets to the point where he is almost a young bird, not just a baby bird, but a young bird. So at this point, a couple months pass, and you eventually learn the language. And your little sister's room is about halfway there. So, is there anything else that you want to learn? Like, if you can tell me how
Well,
you learned the tools
first off-
or languages. What?
First off, how many months has it been since the bird hatched?
About 3 months. Yeah.
So, how much gold do I got?
I'll
for
let you know
when
at the end of this little thing.
Oh,
Unless you want to spend it right
sure.
now.
Well, I mean, how much longer does my voucher got?
Your voucher's got seems to be after the 3 months, about 2 more months in it.
because I want to make sure that I get that paid.
Yeah,
I guess that
I'll make
doesn't
sure you
matter.
do.
So you asked, is there anything else I'd like to learn?
Yeah, like if there are any tools you find, just make sure you let me know how a roleplay sense how you find them, and also like languages if you'd rather do that.
I think I should probably write under common now, under my language.
Yes, you should.
So I could choose between a language or some tools.
Yes.
Just like add a game, what like are some tools that are in the game?
Well, let me show you.
I asked that very confusingly. I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right. So, let me tell you this. Okay. So the ones that you can find around, okay, I'll just tell you, if you're looking for tools, you can ask around. I'll tell you the base ones that you can just ask around your friends for. You know that with the Falconers, your base, they would have what seem to be Tinker's tools that are technically Hoodocks, Weaver's tools, and also Cook's utensils. And you also know Christian has in his parents' house alchemist supplies and cartographer supplies and also painter supplies.
Okay.
You know what around the place, around your house you can get pretty easily are woodcarver's tools and also cook's utensils. So those are the baseline ones that you can just like ask someone for, or you have around the house.
So those are like the ones that would make sense for my character to be able to get.
Yes, unless you tell me like you ask around this certain area, or you try to buy something, like buy the tools and then learn through that.
Imagine there are also some. I mean, I don't know how you're doing this, Riley, but would it be possible for him to learn some tools that might not be in his area, but because of the library? Or is
Okay.
that more learned through experience?
I would allow that if you learn it through the library, but the only thing is, if they're not available in the town, you'll only have the proficiency. You won't be able to buy the tools unless you leave and go find somewhere that actually has it. So, do you want me to tell you the ones that you could find in the books?
Sure, yeah. So I've got before you do that, because like I'm thinking maybe for like just like as a long term, like this could be useful for stuff, and also it would make sense. Is that Priscilla wants to like, I don't know, save money instead of having to keep buying like mice and worms and stuff. She could get like some type of like hunting tools, maybe.
Hunting tools. That would be a weapon.
So
that's
it's not
different.
like when I was thinking hunting tools, I was thinking like stuff to attract animals. I don't know, like traps.
Okay, like traps. Got it.
Calls, maybe, if that's invented in this time period.
Not really. Yeah, I mean, the closest one I can find is in the books. You could find different ways to navigate the world, and in that I would allow proficiency in navigator's tools, which you can go around different places looking for things.
Maybe. I mean, cartographer was also kind of interesting.
Yeah, you can make maps and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, if there's any that stand out to you, I can tell you what you can do with them. Although it's kind of long-winded.
Cartographers make maps.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are specific things you can do with it. I can read it to you if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you want me to start with cartographer's tools?
Yeah.
All right. So, using cartographer schools, you can create accurate maps and make travel easier for yourself and those who come after you. The maps can range from large-scale depictions of mountain ranges and diagrams that show the layout of a dungeon level. Components. The cartographer's tools consist of a quill, ink, parchment, a pair of compasses, calipers, and a ruler. Arcana, history, and religion. You can use your knowledge of maps and locations to unearth more detailed information when you use these skills. For instance, you might spot hidden messages in a map, identifying when a map was made to determine if geographical features have changed since then, and so forth. Nature. Your familiarity with physical geography makes it easier for you to answer questions or solve issues relating to the terrain around you. Survival. Your understanding of geography makes it easier to find paths to civilization, to predict areas where villages or town might be found, and avoid being lost. You have studied in so many maps that are common patterns, such as how trade routes evolve and where settlements arise in relation to geographic locations are familiar to you. Craft a map. While traveling, you can draw a map in addition to engaging in other activities. Activities. These are just what you do in your spare time, and they have different DCs. Determine a map's age and origin, DC 10. Estimate direction and distance to a landmark, DC 15. Discern that a map is fake, DC 16. Fill a missing part of the map, DC 20.
So when it was talking about like additives and like Arcana, nature, and the other one, is that the same as having like a proficiency in it? Or?
No, you would just be able to do certain things easier if you had these cartographer's tools.
So let's say I have these cartographer's tools, and you make me make an Arcana check. What would change about it if I didn't have these tools?
First, you would bring up, I use my cartographer's tools to help me in this certain way that relates to roleplay, and then I'll lower the DC, go accordingly.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's not like I just add to my roll the number of that roll just has to be lower.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are cartographer's tools.
Yes.
And then the other one that was interesting, what was it, navigation's tools?
Navigator's tools, yes. Here, let me pull that up. Navigator's tools. All right. This set of instruments used for navigating the sea. So this is for navigating the sea, actually. Do you want me to still read you it?
The seed.
The sea, sorry.
The sea.
Yeah.
So only ocean.
Yep. It's only for the sea.
Those are like useless to me then.
Unless you want to go to be a pirate.
I don't think I want to be a pirate. So I get maybe cartographer's tools. And there also is the other languages.
Yes.
What do you think, Cameron? My right-hand man? My right-hand man is apparently dead.
Yes, I think he did die.
Hello?
Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Right-hand man.
Alright, I don't know. The thing is, I haven't seen tools use an action yet, so I don't know how helpful they can be. And I also don't know how helpful the other languages you have available to you could be. So it's really, I really don't have any idea here, but yeah.
All right.
Is there any?
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry. Is there any tools that could help with falconeering or anything, or is that all just its own thing?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I might go with cartographer's tools anyway. And
Okay.
the way it could make sense is like, she, maybe something to do with the cave she was in. She wants to be able to map a way to get back to that cave in case it's important to her. So that's why she wants to learn the ability to make maps.
Yeah, that's true. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you right now, those would be in marketplaces for you to buy if you ever wanted to buy some.
What, just like what, cartographer's tools?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right. Sounds good. Make an investigation check.
This is for
Learning the cartographer's tools.
well, about that. We got a nat 1.
Oh,
no.
you seem to be very struggling with that. You don't get anywhere for a while.
Forgot how to read maps.
So
I forgot how to read.
continue with that. We continue for a couple more months. Eventually, your little sister's room is built, and she moves into it. And eventually, your falcon gets a little bit stronger and bigger. Make a animal handling check.
Another one. 12.
All right. With that, it seems to be growing a little bit more attached to you over time, especially because you're feeding it so well. Make a animal handling check.
Another one. 5.
It still is struggling with its speed and accuracy. Make another animal handling check.
This is for tricks. Or like advanced air tactics. 15.
All right. With that, he can navigate the air pretty well.
Not faster accurately.
Yes. He knows where stuff is. He just has trouble getting there. So it's still a bit slower than everyone else's, especially not Sarah's at this point. But it's getting there. And eventually, make a investigation check.
Oh, I got that. I got that proficiency in that. Well, let's go, because we got a 21.
Okay. You actually pick up very much with learning the cartographer supplies. You eventually get to the point where
I
you
remembered how to read.
yes, you get a proficiency in cartographer supplies.
Yeah.
So now
I
you just
don't know
gotta
how to spell cartographer.
Uh,
How do you spell cartographer?
refer.
Actually, that's correct. Cartographer. Cartographer.
The Flynn-Schniffer. So now all you have to do is find a class and fill out your pool. I mean, finish out your pool, and then you're ready to go.
Yeah.
So, with that, I'm also going to say that you have passed so much time that since we're getting down to the wire, you get to tell me what stats get upgraded. You just have to tell me the roleplay reason for it.
Oh, so
You can
I
use the
choose
rest of your
this
pool.
time. So I get to choose the rest of my pool.
Yep.
And the roleplay reason why.
Uh-huh. So let's start with strength. Do you want to upgrade that at all?
I don't think it would make any sense.
What is it right now?
9.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't make sense.
The only reason it's not 7 is because Dragonborns get +2 strength.
Yeah. So, going on to dexterity. You want to upgrade that?
Yeah.
That also. The only way that could make sense is that I've been going to that cave
Or
regularly to see if
it
there's
could-
shit in it.
We don't know how.
Well, okay, you never told me you wanted to go to the cave.
labor-intensive is.
Both of you talked at the same time. I didn't hear a thing.
Sorry, you can go first, Cameron.
I was saying we don't know how labor-intensive falconeer training is. That could up your dexterity a little.
I would say hand-eye coordination is pretty important, and that's a part of it. Also, you never told me you wanted to go to the cave, so
I was thinking that as a what if. I'm not saying
Okay.
that that's what she said she wanted to do. I was just
Okay.
saying that would be the only way I could think that she got good at dexterity is going to that cave over and over again.
okay.
But hand-eye coordination, that
Yeah.
does make sense.
If you're unsure, let's just go on to Constitution.
I mean, I've been regularly eating well still.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. It just depends
So
on
I
if you
could
want to.
level that.
You want to?
Do I?
Well, how many points left do you have in your pool?
12.
And
And since my Constitution is upgraded 5. Upgrading it again would upgrade to 13 and give me a +2. No, wait, no, it wouldn't. So that would be useless. So I'd have to sink a whole, 4 upgrades to get another +1 in it?
Yeah.
So we'll come back to that maybe.
Okay. So how about intelligence?
Well, roleplay-wise, I've been reading.
Yes. That's pretty
But
easy.
It only needs 1 more to get a +2 in it and level it up to 14. So
Which would be how many
maybe?
points?
That would be they would have 7 points upgraded into it.
So that would be another 2.
Yeah, so I'd go down to 10 and I would have +2 intelligence.
Okay. Then, are you gonna do that?
Maybe. So wisdom, I've been hanging out with my friends a lot.
Yep. And also you've
So-
been training the Falcon around the different areas outside.
Well, I am going to upgrade my wisdom at least once because it'd be my 5th, so it'd only take 1, and it would increase it to 12, so I'd have +1. So I am going to do that at least once right
Okay.
now.
So you have 11
So-
left, right?
Yeah, I have 11 left in my pool, and I now have 12 wisdom, which is a +1. Don't think I need to level charisma anymore.
Yeah. That'd take a large chunk of your stuff.
Yeah, how much would going from 9 to 10 be out of curiosity?
Going from 9 to 10. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
That takes
6,
4?
7, 8, 9. That would take 4, yeah.
Okay, so
And 10 to 11
is
would be
fine.
another
Well,
4.
I'm not going to upgrade it, so we're fine.
Okay.
So we got 11 left. I think I'm gonna upgrade my dexterity a bit with the thing being hand-eye coordination with training that Falcon. But how much do I want to upgrade it though? I mean, at least once, obviously, so I can have 10, so it's not a negative. Do I want to upgrade it to 12 to get +1?
How many points would that take?
Well, since I am upgrading it at least once to get +10, so I have 10 in my pool, and I've upgraded it 3 times. So it would take 2 from my pool to get it to 12 for a +1.
So then you'd have 8 left.
Yes. Which, if I wanted to get my dexterity up again, I would put 4 in it, and then I would have a +2 in dexterity.
Mhm. And then if you had 4 left and you just wanted to go absolutely crazy, could you get your charisma up like that with the to 18?
Yes, I could.
Okay.
I could. That could be what I do. So there is that choice of pathing. Other choices of pathing. If I wanted to upgrade my constitution again, I would need to put 4 points into it. Like to get to another additive.
So what is is it just 0 or is it like +1 right now? Your constitution.
It's +1. My constitution is +1. And if I
Okay.
wanted to be +2, I'd have to put 4 points.
So your only negative thing right now is strength.
Yes. And everything else adds either 1 or 3. And dexterity doesn't do anything. It doesn't subtract or anything. I think I might level up intelligence once because it's an odd number and I would get +2 and that would take 2 points. Yeah. We're gonna do that and see if it changes. I might change my mind on that, but that's what we're gonna do for now. So we have 14 intelligence and that is a +2. And we have 8 points left.
Okay. So you could do Constitution once, Charisma once.
If you really, really, really want to try to figure out a way, I don't know if Riley would allow this, to get your strength out of the negative, you could say
Yep.
you helped build your sister's room.
I mean, if that's what you want to do.
Maybe.
I mean,
But
it depends on
if
if
you'd
you.
rather put your.
Yeah.
So you'd rather put your stuff in other things.
Yeah, if there's stuff you want to prioritize, or if you just want to get your stuff out of the negative.
Because when was the last time you made a strength check?
When the Falcon put on my hand. But here's the thing: if I did do that, because everything now besides dexterity takes an even number of points away from me, and I need 1 point to get out of the negative of strength. So I'd have an odd number that I would have to put into strength again, or I'd have to put into dexterity, both of which wouldn't do anything.
Okay.
So I would have a wasted point. I would waste 2 points to upgrade my strength once.
Okay.
So I don't think we're going to be doing that.
Choose
So
wisely.
we got 8 points left. What were you gonna say?
Choose wisely.
I know.
And so
bro.
once these are locked in, there's no way to change these afterwards.
Nope.
Right?
Unless there's some
And-
weird out of game thing.
Yeah, and just in the normal process of D&D, every time your character levels up, how much can you upgrade things?
Every time you reach, once you reach 4th level, you can upgrade once or gain a feat, or level 8 does the same. And I think 12 does the same also.
So it takes a while until you can upgrade your stats again. Yeah.
So you've already crossed off strength. You don't want to do that anymore. Is there any more that you just don't want to upgrade anymore? Can narrow this down a little bit.
I think my intelligence. Yeah, not my intelligence. But that's fine. So strength and intelligence, nada. I think I'm probably fine with the Constitution being what it is, because it would take 4 to upgrade again. And it's probably between dexterity, wisdom, and charisma. The reason charisma is still there is that if I did dexterity, I would put 2 points into it, and then it would upgrade, and then I would have 6 left. And man, math is so hard. So in order to upgrade dexterity again, I need to put 2 more into it. And then if the 6th upgrade still takes 1, right?
No,
6th
sixth upgrade takes 2.
Yeah.
So then if I want to upgrade dexterity, so it would take 2 to upgrade it once, and then if I want to upgrade it again, it would take 4, leaving me with 2 points left, which would do nothing.
How many do you need to upgrade wisdom?
4.
Okay. So
Which I could do 4 in that and then 4 in charisma. That
Yeah.
could do that. So if I put 4 into wisdom and upgrade that to 14 to give me a +2 in that, I would have 4 points left, which could either upgrade charisma to 18 and give me a +4 in that. Could it upgrade intelligence? No, it couldn't, because after the 8th one takes 3, right? So
7 to 8.
yeah.
That takes 3.
So man, the decisions. So 4, I have 4 left.
What I'm gonna do real quick is you guys can figure that out. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Yeah. You could do that while I decide this.
All right. See ya. All right, and we're back. Tell the audience what you chose.
I am the most charismatic person you have ever met. I
Alright.
have 18 charisma, which is a +4.
Okay, could you go down your stat lists and your skill proficiencies and your tools/languages, just for the audience?
Yes. Okay, I have 9 strength, 10 dexterity, 12 constitution, 14 intelligence, 14 wisdom, and 18 charisma. So pretty kind of like jack of all trades kind of thing, but
Yeah.
I'm very charismatic. My proficiencies are animal handling, but we all know I'm still bad at that. And investigation. And my languages and stuff, my base 2 from just being born are common and draconic. And I've learned undercommon, and I know how to use cartographer tools.
All right, sounds good. You ready to keep going?
Let's do this.
Okay, so eventually a couple more months pass to where it goes to about a year, and since your egg has hatched. So a year's worth of money, how much is that?
Wouldn't that would just be like one? That'd be what? How much gold am I getting? 2 gold per day?
Yeah, okay, also minus 1
2
per
times
week because
365?
you're feeding your falcon. So, and I mean, but I mean, I don't know how you're gonna do that.
I mean, you just Google how many weeks. I feel like, okay, I'm just gonna pull up my calculator out.
Okay.
So 2 gold for 365 days is 730 gold.
Okay.
Minus 1 a week,
Yeah.
which I'm just gonna Google how many weeks are in a year.
2.
There are more than 2 weeks in a year.
I said 52.
52. So there's 52 weeks.
Yep.
Oh yeah, there is. So, where's my calculator? So minus 52, and I'm assuming I have to pay for my brochure again or my voucher again.
Yes. That will take up 50 gold.
So I'm gonna minus another 50 gold for that.
Okay.
So that means that with the gold I already have in my inventory, I now have 795 gold.
Wow, that's a lot of gold, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm rich, bro.
Eventually, your parents see how much gold you have accumulated over the years, and they look at you and they set you down. And your dad tells you, maybe it's about time you find a place of your own.
Ooh, that's a big decision. Am I still welcome to stay here and before I find a place I might want to stay at?
Yes, of course. Stay as long as you wish.
Thank you, sir. And out of game, me and Cameron do want to play with each other, like, together. And honestly, I'd be willing, if I'm actually going to get my class and be ready as a character now, unless I have, like, more roleplay stuff to deal with, I'm willing to wait and not do any sessions until he's prepared, and then we play together.
Oh.
Well, I am
Right? Are
still
you willing
like
to do that?
13. No, I would love to meet up with you, but I'm still like 13, and I just started Magic.
Well, okay, here's the thing.
I know.
Before a meetup, I usually say before your first meetup, you can be level between 1 and 3.
So, I guess I'm not going to be extreme as I don't play, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a ways
Yeah.
away, so you just keep going.
I'm just going to take what my dad says in mind, and maybe I'll get a house. I don't know.
Okay.
Depends on how I feel.
Sounds good. So with that, eventually we get to the point where the storm has now sort of brewed enough and it engulfs the mountainside. Your dad tells you the weather reports say that tomorrow it's going to come down and hit the place pretty hard. So you should probably stay inside for the day.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure I got my bird in shadow.
All right. So with that, you eventually.
Before the storm starts, did we ever learn if Stella and the other guy got together?
Did they fuck?
So you realize that Stella did make a move and Christian said no.
Damn. That's unfortunate. Did she like tell me that, or I just put that together?
Sarah told you after asking Stella.
Oh, well. I don't want to make her think that Stella is a gossip girl. So if Stella told me herself, I'd say, don't worry, girl. There's plenty of fish in the sea, including dragonfish. But besides the point.
Oh.
But sadly she didn't tell me that, so I don't tell her that.
Okay. So, with that, you choose to stay in your house for the day?
Yeah, I don't want to get cold, but maybe for roleplay purposes, Shadow Me comes back, and I do get cold anyway.
Okay. So, I'm going to change the music once more.
Because it's stormy. That storm that was happening in real life went away as well.
Okay.
Maybe it'll come back.
Maybe.
Here, I got you, Davis.
Boom.
Oh, Thunder.
Dude, that was so immersive.
Boom.
Boom. Big boom.
Big boom.
Thunder.
Thunder.
Just
Boom.
Thunder by Imagine Dragons.
No, it's playing Thunderstruck by AC/DC.
Nice.
Good song, by the way. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. We're sponsored by Magic School.
Obviously, that goes without saying. It's like how G Fuel and Keemstar used to be. It's just you think of one, you think of the other, you know. In this case, I guess you think of D&D Magic School and you think of every other D&D that isn't Magic School, but that's besides the point.
So, as we continue forward, the rain starts coming down quite hard, and lightning starts coming in. And after dinner, you are sent to your room, and the cat again looks quite afraid and cuddles up with you for the night. And the bird sort of pays no attention to the thunder.
Oh, he's a Chad.
So, do you wish to just fall asleep again?
Yeah, I haven't got anything I need to study anymore, so I'll sleep with the kitty cat and
All right.
Shadow.
Sounds good. And yet again, almost like you sort of knew it in the back of your head, you wake up to a large thunder crack and your cat on the floor. You look down instinctually to see if there was a body there, and there is.
So it's either tied to like lightning or these storms. So, I guess I'm probably preparing to follow Shadow around.
Yeah, Shadow looks at you and looks towards the door once more.
Yeah, we're gonna wait. Actually, as a test, do I like phase through my Falcon?
No, the Falcon, once you touch it, looks up at you.
So if the Falcon can see me. Well, it's like I know he's not paying much mind to it, but I don't want to take him with me because I don't want him to get lost in the thing like Christian's bird did. So I'm not gonna take him with me, but it is interesting that he can see me. So I'm gonna keep following Shadow.
All right, you follow him back. At this point, Shadow does not run as he just follows you and leads you over to the same area you were before with the cave. Eventually, you get up to the cave area and you walk inside. This time, there's no torch on the side, and the only thing you can see are Shadow's eyes looking back at you every once in a while.
It's dark. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna try my best to keep up with them.
All right. So, as you continue to follow him, he seems to lead you down different paths than you were last time, until he eventually reaches a dead end and sits on the ground.
I'm gonna feel around the wall since I can't see.
All right. So, as you feel around the walls, you feel a hole in one of the walls.
Does it happen to be a key-shaped hole?
It seems to be.
I'm gonna try to put that key in the hole that I still have from earlier.
All right. So, As you turn the keyhole, the key almost turns into dust, and the wall sharks start shaking. And Shadow walks over to it and puts his paw on the wall. And with that, the wall slides away, almost like it's made of large stones. On the other side, it seems to be a well-lit room with a pool in the
I
middle
can see.
with purple
A
water.
pool?
Yes.
Purple water. Oh. What else is in the room?
Nothing else. It seems to be almost like an altar.
Oh, I don't want to be sacrificed. Is Shadow walking in?
Yes, Shadow
or
is
do I
walking
have
in.
to Well, I'm gonna follow Shadow in there.
All right. So he eventually sits down in the end of the room and looks up and looks at you.
So there's literally nothing in this room. It's just a room with a purple pool in it.
Well, at the end of the room, there seems to be something on the walls.
Well, before I step in this mysterious pool, by the way, how shallow is this pool?
The pool is very shallow.
Oh, so like if I can I like if I stand in it, is it like ankle height or like mid leg, knee?
If you stand in it, it would be like halfway up to your knee.
Okay. I'm gonna go over to the wall.
Okay. As you
Maybe
step
use
over
that.
there, Shadow meows and looks up over at the wall. Do you wish to inspect it?
Yes.
As you look at it, it seems to be a cat looking out with nine arms and almost a glowing aurora around it.
Ambidextrous.
And Shadow sort of paws towards one of the seems to be something on the floor. It seems to be a sharp rock.
I guess I'll pick up the rock.
All right. With that, Shadow climbs up you, or at least tries to. Do you struggle?
No. I'm gonna let him climb up me.
He tries to guide your arm over to what seems to be the cat's sort of body.
Okay, it's just a picture on the wall?
Yes.
I mean, I don't really know what else to do other than look at it. I mean, I could make the stone touch the wall, I guess.
Okay. As you do, Shadow meows at you almost incessantly, getting louder and louder.
I don't know what he wants me to do.
Shadow looks
so-
at you for a moment and steps back down and sort of sits almost pondering.
So the picture he pointed at, what it looked like just a cat with 9 arms.
Yes, looking straight out into you. And like
Well,
a
looking,
aurora
like,
around him.
towards... Is it still just a picture on the wall?
Yes, it's still a picture.
So my piece of stone, is it just like a normal rock, or
Seems to be.
can I inspect the rock?
Yes, make an investigation check.
I'm not gonna find anything because I got a nat 1.
Oof. Yeah, you have no idea what this rock is.
Rock.
It
Seems to be a rock.
So Shadow's just sitting there,
Yeah, he's looking down.
down. I'm gonna go over to the pool and dip the rock in the water.
All right, and as you dip the rock in, it sizzles and turns into dust.
Oh, so it's acid.
Well,
any other
you
rocks I
also had your finger in there, and your finger was fine.
Okay, but I just melt. Is the bottom of it made of any different material other than like just rocks?
It seems to be made out of metal.
Okay, so it disintegrated a rock, but my hand was fine.
Yes, your hand was absolutely fine.
Did Shadow make any emotion about that, or
He's just looking at you.
I'll dip my toes in the water, I guess.
So you take off your shoes.
Yeah, and I'll dip my toesies.
Okay. The water seems to be warm.
Oh, it's a hot spring. So then I'll just like, what am I wearing? Am I wearing my like dress?
Yeah, your cloak.
What's really weird is that what if like, cause like I don't want to make my dress wet. Well, it's probably already wet, right? Because of the rain.
Oh, because of the rain, yes.
When I woke up at like the first time was when I woke up in my body, was my dress wet?
No.
So then I should be fine to just like take it off and then just get in the
Wait,
hot
wait. Are you
spring.
talking about
Okay.
like after you woke up in the bed? Like after
Yes.
you were okay, then yes, after that it was wet.
Okay, so physical items as also. So am I gonna wake up and like, am I not wearing my dress? I'm just gonna be naked in my bed.
I don't know, man.
Well, I guess I'll just not take off the dress. I'll just sit in the hot spring.
Okay.
Wait. Are
Wait,
you
wait,
sure?
what?
Because it disintegrated the rock. Would it disintegrate
It
your
might.
clothes?
That is a good question. Um,
It's like the bit of your shoe in it.
yeah, I'll do that. It's like a bit of the shoe.
All right. It disintegrates and turns into a dust, like the little bit that you put in.
Okay, so I take off all my clothes then, I guess.
All right. And do you get in?
Yeah, I'll get in the hot spring.
Okay. So at this point, Shadow walks over and sits in the pool with you.
Okay.
And he sort of tries to get comfortable, and he lays down, belly up, and tries to fall asleep.
I guess we're just gonna take a nap here. All right, I guess so. I'll take a nap too.
All right. So you eventually try to fall asleep, and the water soothes you. You eventually fall into a deep slumber. You wake up once more. You seem to be in complete darkness, just kind of floating there. And you hear a voice. Priscilla.
Do I recognize this voice?
No, you don't.
So it just said my name.
Yes.
Who goes there?
Priscilla, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes. I think I finally found a link. And the voice becomes a little bit more clear at this point. He says, do you recognize my voice?
And I don't, correct?
No, you don't.
Gonna be honest, not really.
I've been trapped in that form for so long. I don't believe any of my communications have gone through to your brain. And at this point, the voice is completely clear. And he says, I am what you refer to as Shadow.
Oh, Shadow. Hey, buddy. So wait, can you, like, that entire time you've been a cat, have you been able to understand me?
He says, I have been able to understand you, but you have not been able to understand me.
Okay, so thank God you could, because definitely didn't want you to eat my bird.
He says, the bird looked very tasty. No promises.
Well, he was off limits.
He says, we have more important matters to deal with right now. He says,
Yeah, probably based on the fact that my cat can both teleport and is now talking to me.
He says, hundreds of years, every once in a while, I lie dormant in these cave systems. And every once in a while, I will choose someone with a strong bloodline that I reveal myself to. And I draw a connection between you in the extra-dimensional planes. Your brains can comprehend more than most. Sometimes you will be able to see that is beyond.
I'm a smart cookie.
He says, I reside in what you might call hell.
Oh, like, were you put there, or do you, like, rule it, or?
He says, humans. And at this point, he says to you, whatever you might say, I don't really have a word for it. In our native tongue, we call it go kalak.
Go collect blah.
Yes. In your human tongue, it doesn't have a direct translation, but some might call it a...
Purgatory.
No, I am what you call, a demon?
normally those are seen as the bad guys.
Well, it depends on your perspective.
Yeah, I guess it does.
He says, I've been trapped here for a long time. Every once in a while, I find someone who proves useful to me, and I have them do tasks. But none have been as kind as you in the past 1,000 years. And he sort of says to you in a kind voice, I am willing to make a pact with you. You will be able to be granted some of my powers, but you will be the only one that will be able to see me, along with your sister, of course.
Yeah, that I have a big question. What exactly are the rules on what can see you? Because I can see you, my sister can see you, and the Falcons can see you. So is
Well,
it just like anything not humanoid or human?
um, beings within higher evolved brain systems, they lose something along that process. They're able to evolve into different cultures and stuff, but the more primitive beings, as you say, animals, they still have the connection to the different dimensions.
Ah, I see.
As such, I took the form of one.
Well, so if the deal is that I get some of your powers, but only I can see you, how does our relationship change? Because I and my sister and the Falcons and whatever, that's already how it works. So is there any downside to this pact, or?
Well, some might see it to be a downside to be working with what you call a demon, but I
Well,
assure
like you
you,
said, perspective and all that.
yes, of course. I believe that you are a good-willed young lady, and says to you once more, um, I I wish to return. I wish to return to this plane. I will be able to string a bond with you. You see, I am not able to leave this town and these mountains because of a curse that was placed on me long ago. But if we draw a stronger connection, I will be able to follow you and see the world.
Well, would you still be a cat, or?
Well, yes, but you would be the only one that be able to see me.
Hmm. Uh, so tell me about these powers.
He says they will grow as you grow as a person. I will grant more and more the deeper our connection.
Hmm. Hmm. Still doesn't answer what kind of powers they are.
He tells you, well, I will grant them to you as soon as you say yes to me and our pact is brought forth.
Okay.
But remember, if you ever turn your back on me, I will have no choice but to relinquish my powers, and you will be brought back to your original form.
Okay. Out of game. I see this as an absolute win.
Cameron?
Cameron, do you see this as anything other than an absolute win?
Well, the only downsides that are being presented to you are things that already happen. So I don't like. I mean, obviously, deals with the devil aren't out of game known as the best things in the world, but in game, the way this is being presented, it just seems like literally nothing but gaining stuff.
Yeah, I gain some powers, and I can take Shadow anywhere I want
The,
instead of
the,
having to stay here.
the only thing I can think is maybe you would have read something about like a deal with the devil in one of your books and known there's always a trick, or maybe you haven't. I don't know, but this
Okay, wait. That actually kind of gives me an idea. Okay, back in game. I've got a question about the story that was on the wall, and some of it was cut off. And it seems to me that the cat, which is that you in the story?
He says the humans have found my residence, and long, long ago they drew depictions of me,
Which is the cat.
which is the cat.
So it seemed to me at the end of the story that you were being praised. So what changed where the humans suddenly cast you into hell as a demon?
Well, let's just say that I am an omen of good luck and ill omen as well. When I cross paths with humans such as yourself, I might grant powers, but every once in a while, I will be a drawing of bad luck towards anyone that sees me.
Is this a confirmed thing, or is this just what humans think?
Well, certain things happen when I'm around. That's the only thing I can tell you. It's
Do
almost
these
like
thunderstorms happen to have any correlation?
I would assume so. I assume it's the gods being mad at me for leaving my cavern.
Huh.
So, I would not lie to you by saying you might attract the attention of some extra planar beings, aka what the humans call gods, to your, well, let's just say, they might try to stop you.
Well, this sounds like a decision between fight with literal gods or a pet cat that can talk.
Well,
So-
like I said, I am an extra planar being, not just a cat.
I know, but like, cats are pretty cool. Okay, back to out of game talking. So, gods are gonna want to fight me if I make friends with Shadow.
Oh, yeah. Well, how much would Priscilla know about that? Because you're not very
Gods.
religious.
You
There's
know,
got to be stories about gods.
yeah,
right?
you know
Like
that they're like basically things that people worship and like are like good like beings that like reside over all like good things in the world.
Well, I just got confirmation that gods are real, so I still want to make a deal with him because he's my shadow cat. I want him to be like mine.
Yeah. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man.
You don't know, man.
No, I'm not like I don't know. Like I don't know if you should do this. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what I would do.
You don't know what you would do.
I don't. Because I mean, as cool as having a talking shadow cat at all times and superpower sounds, the downside to that seems pretty severe as well.
Fighting literal gods.
Yeah.
And of him bringing back luck wherever he goes, apparently.
He said good luck and bad luck.
So it's like a mixture. I still wanna do it. I wanna form a pact with my cat. Man, at the start of this, no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's kind of separate.
I was gonna say, man, at the start of this, I didn't think I'd be forming a blood pact with my cat. I know it's probably not like a blood pact, but it seems like that's not what I expected.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask. I hope you ask him at some point how he feels about the bow tie.
Oh, I gotta do that. Okay, back in game. All right, I'm contemplating this, but I've got one last question.
Yes, what is it? Is it asking about my powers or where it all comes from?
No, how much did you like the bow tie?
What is this bow tie you speak of?
It's that little red thing I would put on you.
Oh, I see. The little red string around my neck. Oh, it makes me look
Yeah.
very nice in the mirrors. He says, thank you for that. Actually, that's why I wanted you to take the sharp rock over to the mural. I wanted to add the bow tie in. I think it fits my character quite well.
All right, you've convinced me. I'll join your pact.
Are you sure about this? You might fight some very strong beings in our friendship.
I mean, if these powers are as great as you are maybe saying they are, I think I can handle myself.
Well, like I said, I will grant more the more you adventure and travel and grow as a person.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's no going back if you say yes.
Which I am.
All right. Well, wake up. And so
Does he just like snap and then I wake up?
yes,
He's
you
a
wake
cat,
up.
dude.
You see the cat is looking at you and licking his paw.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, I probably should have asked you your name. And since I didn't do that, I'm just gonna keep calling you Shadow. Got it?
He meows at you and keeps licking his paw.
Okay, so well, I also understand you understand English. So did it work?
Do you wish to sort of see what's changed with you?
Yeah. Do I like feel different?
You definitely do. You
I
feel a
definitely
almost
do.
heaviness on your spirits. You have also, out of character, gained your first class level.
What is it? What is it?
You are a first level warlock.
I could be a warlock. Oh,
Is she still wearing clothes, or are those
No,
all in the
she's
cave
naked.
now? And are they
oh,
just on the floor, or are they on the cave?
They're on the floor.
okay. If my dad walks up, I'm just gonna say, thought I wanted to just feel what being taken was like.
Well, you're
So
under
I
your
can choose to
sheets,
be-
so don't worry.
Yeah. So I can choose to be a warlock.
Well, I
Oh.
think you are a warlock now. I don't think it's really that
You
choice
chose to
was-
do the thing, so you are a warlock.
Oh, cool. Progress. All right.
Okay.
Never mind. I am a warlock.
And also, you have a subclass as well because warlocks get their subclass. It's called you have made a pact of the Shadow Cat.
That is the coolest name for a subclass I've ever heard.
So, do you wish to? Because we're not going to be doing any more playing at this point. We're just going to explain to you what you get. Is that okay?
So like that's the end of playing the session.
You basically yes.
All right. So real quick, I'm gonna write down my class. So it's a warlock.
Yes.
And warlock like parentheses shadow cat.
Yes. Basically.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, you got pretty close to taking some other classes, but I'm glad you took this one. This one seemed pretty cool.
Can you
Yeah,
tell him
dude,
what
I'm
other
a
ones that
warlock.
he was close to?
No, because you
Ranger,
can
I'm
multi-class.
Oh,
Oh,
multi-class.
never
How does
mind.
that
then,
work?
okay.
I'm allowing you to multi-class into maximum of 2 classes.
Sweet.
So,
So
yeah.
you can just have the benefits of 2 classes.
Uh-huh. So,
So I still can become that ranger I was thinking I would be, but now I'm a warlock. So let's go.
okay. So, do you want me to tell you what happens?
Yes. What are the gameplay changes that I have now? Am I level 1?
Yes, you are level 1.
All right.
Sweet.
I'm level 1. So
Okay.
how's my HP work now? What
So,
has that change?
get rid of what you have before. It's 8 plus your constitution modifier now.
8 plus constitution, so I have 9 HP.
Nice. All right. So, for proficiencies, we still need to upgrade those. That will be dependent on your roleplay as well. I didn't tell Ronnie at this stage because I still had to figure it out, but just off to the side somewhere, don't put it in the actual box. But these are the ones that you will get at some point, depending on your roleplay throughout level 1. So you put down the word armor and then put 1, and then weapons.
Okay. So just somewhere write down armor?
Yes, write down armor and put a 1 next to it.
How about on the back where my notes are? I'll write
That's-
down like
that's
a
fine.
proficiencies and then a column and then-
Yes, these are the
Or
ones
like
that you
top.
unlock over level 1, depending on your
So-
roleplay.
So armor and then a 1.
Yes,
Okay.
and then weapons. Put 1 next to that,
Weapons 1.
and then saving throws 2.
Saving throws 2.
And then skills 2.
Skills 2.
All right, and obviously you don't get any equipment because that's roleplay stuff. So
Yeah.
this is first level as a warlock. What you get at first level, you have struck a bargain with an otherworldly being of your choice. And it goes through the different ones. Your choice.
So I am going to need the spellcasting sheet.
Yes, you are. Your choice grants you the features at first level, and again at 6th, 10th, and 14th. Pack magic. Your arcane research and magic bestowed upon you by your patron has given you the facility with spells. See spell rules for the general rules of spell casting and the spell listing for Warlock spell list. Cantrips. You know 2 cantrips of your choice from the Warlock spell list. You learn additional Warlock cantrips at the higher levels. Okay, so do you want me to tell you what spells you can do?
Okay, so that I know how this, like, physically where I should write stuff on
Yeah.
this paper of spellcasting.
Do you not have the spellcasting sheet?
No, I do.
Okay.
It's like I see a 0. Like there's like all of these bars have a number from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way to 9,
Uh-huh.
and the 0 one already has cantrips written in the bar. If that.
Oh,
helps you
there are already
negotiate
cantrips
with
written
me.
there?
No, it just says the word cantrips.
Okay,
and there's
so-
nothing written in the thing.
How we're probably going to do this is we will do this off camera just so we're not boring anyone. And that by next session, you can tell the audience what you chose to do with your spells and all that. But thank you all for
Alright.
watching. This has been quite the session, boys.
It
Longest session
has.
so far.
What'd you say?
It's the longest session so far.
How long has it been?
3 hours and 38 minutes.
Wow. So, do you guys have anything to say to the audience before we head out?
Mm,
I'm a fucking warlock that works with a cat. I'm set.
yeah.
So, thank you all for watching. Make sure you head back next time for the next session of The Cat and the Dragon, or
Literally.
stop by for our next session with anyone else. So, thank you all for watching, and we are signing out. Thank you.